Good evening. Today is Tuesday, March 17, 2026 at 6:01 p.m. We're here for a city council meeting. We'll have a call to order by Ms. Latricia, Wright. Roll call.
Mayor Goodman. Mayor Goodman, are you here?
I'm here.
Thank you. Council President Hinds.
Here.
Vice President Cox.
Here.
Councilmember Jones.
Here.
Councilmember Martin.
Here.
Councilmember Riccio. City Manager Sue Beaudet.
Here.
Attorney Kiersten Ballou.
Here.
City Clerk Latricia Wright. I am here, and all other staff. Thank you.
Council meeting procedures for members of the public. All cell phones are to be turned off when entering the council chambers. Once the audience has taken their seat and the meeting begins, there will be no talking between audience members during the course of the council meeting. If anyone continues to talk within the audience and is called down 3 times during the course of the meeting, on the 3rd time, that person will be escorted out of the council meeting. The audience must be recognized by the president before being allowed to address the council. The member of the audience that is recognized will proceed to the podium, state their name for the benefit of the city clerk, prior to offering comments on a given matter. The audience member will be limited to not more than 5 minutes to speak based on the resolution 2020-28. There will be no personal attacks made by any member in the audience towards any sitting member, and no personal attacks made by any council member towards a member of the audience. There will be no conversation between the members of the audience that has been recognized and any other member of the audience when speaking while at the podium. If an audience member wants to speak more than the allotted 5 minutes allowed, that person should make a request to City Hall so that item can be placed on the agenda. We'll now have the opening prayer and pledge of allegiance to the flag by Mayor Charles Goodman.
Join me, teachers. Lord, we come to you today, a group of citizens, a group of people gathered together, trying to do the best thing we can for our cities. Lord, you know the danger in the world now. Lord, that we need your protection. There is bad things happening throughout the world. And Lord, we don't have any community be protected by them. And I ask you personally, Lord, that you would look over our police officers as they go through their daily work, which has always been dangerous and now has gotten more so. I ask you to be with the fire department and all of the city employees, Lord, as each one of them work the best they can to keep our city running as smoothly as possible. I ask you to be with this council, to give them wisdom where wisdom is needed, to give them strength to do the right thing as they see it. And I ask you to be with every member that has taken the time out of their life to be here tonight in the interest of being part of what goes on in their city. I ask this in your name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much.
Okay, item number 1, additions, deletions, changes, and approval of the agenda.
Madam President, I have a request from Planner Lord Jones asking if we could move our item number 5M to 5A.
I'm okay with it. Anything from...
A second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion passes 5-0. All right, item number 2 is going to be public participation. This is your first opportunity to speak for 5 minutes on anything that is not on the agenda.
I'm Joel Penny. I live at 43 Northwest 4th Street. I just wanted to let everybody know I can actually see the difference in the quality of our employees. Like, I don't see any more standing around, vehicles sitting, and people working. So I just wanted y'all to know that. So, thank you.
Thank you. Will there be anyone else? Ms. Boatwright?
Good evening. I'm Gussie Boatwright, and I have a few questions regarding Kenese Williams Park. We've not seen a lot of change out there, so I'm just wanting to know if we can get an update, because there's still some very urgent needs out there. We still need the pavilion. We still need the walking trail. We still need an identified dog run area. We've got dogs and kids, and when they're not of the same family, there could be some conflict there. And we still need a safe egress from Highway 318 for those kids or those people who are trying to get into the park for whatever's going on out there. And the other issue is we've talked about selling bricks to create a memorial wall out there, and we've talked about it, but we've not been able to do anything about it. So I'm wondering if we can get some directions on that. I mean, it's going to take a while before the wall gets built, but I think it's a way to keep the community engaged, and I think it's really important that we do that. We communicate and keep the community engaged in what's going on out there, because we don't see nothing, we know that something's going on. But unless we're told what's going on, people tend to create in their minds. So I'm here today to get an update, or if I need to come back and meet with someone else at a later time to get more information, I'm certainly willing to do that. But I think there needs to be an update given to the community.
Thank you, Ms. Boatwright. Is Ms. Jones here?
She is.
Oh, there she is.
What is the memorial wall?
It is for, we're looking to honor citizens of the community, veterans, or senior members of the community, those people who were pillars of the community that we'd like to memorialize. And that's been an ongoing conversation for the last 7 years.
Yeah, I've never heard of that before. So
It's part of the
good.
master plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And it was discussed when the Friends of Kenese Williams Park was a functioning group. It was discussed at that time. I had conversations, I think, with Laura and with Dawn. It's something we'd like to get going. It's been 7 years. I'm getting old. I want to buy my own brick. I don't want it to be a memorial brick, you know. I want it to be in honor of. So, okay?
Thank you. Ms. Jones?
Laura Jones, City Planner. I work on Cornelius Williams every day. We do have 2 grants out there. We have the DOS grants for about $500,000, which includes the new parking lot, the egress off of 318, and some other improvements. And then we got the FERDAP grant, which will have the pavilion involved. We do have some issues with the county. We sent in paperwork to do a land use change and zoning change, and they sent back some comments. So that's going to be in by the end of the month. I hope that we can be on the county agenda for April, and when we do, we're going to let everybody know so that they can come and support us. We just need a zoning change at this point. We don't need the land use change. So we've got dug deep enough into their comp plan to say that we can do this. It's industrial zoning, which is kind of odd, but we're going to make it work. And Walt is also here. He has the plans done, and yes, the wall is part of the plan. It's over in the westernmost corner, right, Walt, for that memorial wall? Yeah, there's like a little walking trail around it. So all those things are happening. It's happening slowly, and it's happening slowly for me too, but we definitely work on it all the time. And if I could just say one more thing while I'm up here, I was going to do public participation as the CRA director. I just wanted everybody to know that we've got our dog. He's out in the hall if anybody wants to see him. He will be put up at the Veterans Memorial. His name is My Hero, My Friend. He was custom built out in, I think, Indiana. That took 3.5 years to get here, but we have him. He was also a donation from the chamber that started way back when the memorial was first started. So we got him done. The CRA is very happy to see him, and you can visit him right here. We do want to have a naming for him, so if anybody wants to start thinking about that, we'll have a naming competition. Thank you.
It's
Miss,
beautiful.
well,
It all
I don't know if
beautiful.
this is for you or for Walt. So related to Swift Mud, all that stuff is taken care of. There's no holdup.
There's no hold up there. Now we just have to get the permitting, or the zoning done. The permitting's done for Swift Mud.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
sorry, one more question. Is that right? Once the Levy County approves the zoning change, how quickly do we expect to see ground to break? What else is sort of on the to-do list?
When we are on the docket and the county staff has said that everything is okay and we can get on their meeting, we're going to start bidding it out because we believe that they are going to make the zoning change. And then we'll start bidding it out. That'll take, a month or two to get. I don't think you're going to see any progress until the fall. Okay.
How long did it take you to get on docket?
Hopefully, if everything goes well,
No.
Sorry.
How long did it take? Oh, we're not there yet. So we're still waiting to get on the docket.
Yeah, the staff is
Okay.
still reviewing comments.
Okay.
For the zoning change.
Gotcha.
But I have talked to the Department of State, and they are fine. Our money's still there. I still update them. And I just talked to her the other day about asking her if she needed some paperwork, and she said that everything's still fine. So it's in the bank.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Can we get a copy of the master plan
Oh, yeah.
or even the summary thereof?
Yeah.
Maybe a map.
You want a drawing?
I do.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful.
Walt, could you send them the drawing? Yeah, he'll
Thank
send
you
it
so
to
much.
You're welcome.
One we can read.
We'll send it to Latricia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We'll send it to Latricia, and then she can send it out to everybody.
Perfect.
Thank you. That's all for real. Thanks. Mr. Eckert. Thank you.
You, sir, are one hardworking citizen.
My name is Tim Ecker, 225. Good evening, Mayor, council members, and residents. My name is Timothy Ecker. I'm here tonight as a concerned citizen asking for clarity of accountability and transparency regarding the city's parking lot project and related decisions. I want to take a moment to thank Sue and Robert for providing me the answers requested last meeting. I respectfully request answers to several others, but I want to tell you thank you. Number one, I'd like to know who conducted the survey on parking lot 12, who was originally responsible for completing that work. Two, since the project has begun many years ago, why didn't we request new plans, estimations, surveys, etc. before moving forward with the job? Where were the checks and balances to ensure that we approved the continued work? Is JB Pro involved in this project? And if so, what specific role do they play? More broadly, what city projects are they currently involved in? I would like to clarify on I would like clarification on project leadership. Who's the designated project manager for this effort? This question has been raised multiple times, and a clear answer is important for accountability. Additionally, we the residents would like to be better understand the financial oversight of this project and others like it. Has been stated that cost has significantly exceeded the initial expectations since the job began years ago. Can the city clarify current budget status, what led to the overages, and who is responsible for managing those additional costs? Related to that, why were the funds specifically appropriated $34,000 reallocated from the manhole repair project near the police department, parking lot 12. What was the justification for that? And I also have concerns regarding potential conflicts of interest. Can the city confirm whether any individuals involved in this project are receiving compensation from both the CRA and the city of Williston? If so, what safeguards are in place to ensure transparency and ethical compliance? In addition, I would like clarification on the role of all parties involved, including what responsibilities individuals such as Laura Jones has held in relation to this project. Beyond this single project, I believe it's important to look at the broader picture. How many city projects in recent years have gone over budget? What has been the total financial impact on the residents of Williston? And how could they be avoided? I would like also to formally request a records request related to the CRA, including employee compensation and itemized payroll, so residents can better understand how the public funds are being allocated. Ultimately, this is about trust. Residents deserve to know how decisions are made, how funds are spent, and who is accountable when these projects do not go planned. I'm not here to simply criticize. I'm here to ask for transparency, clear communication, and responsible stewardship of taxpayer dollars moving forward. Thank you for your time and consideration. Timothy Ecker, concerned citizen. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Sue,
Yes, ma'am.
did you guys address any of these questions that are being currently asked?
No, I believe these are all new questions, so I will do what I did last time. I will get with Laura and Walt and get these questions answered and make sure that I reach back out to Mr. Eckert and address all of his questions.
Okay, thank you. And are we making sure that we are putting the answers to the questions in format as well and made public record for other staff? Because I do see that some of the questions are the same.
Okay.
So we just need to make sure that we're not
Yes, I will make sure I go through it
reinventing the
all.
wheel.
Yes.
Okay. Do we have any other comments from anyone else? Yes, sir. You can come forward. Yes, sir. Kiersten, did you have anything?
No, I mean, I'm happy to get with Sue, and we can work out the additional answers. I think that there's more context to each of these. I think that there's probably some misunderstanding here.
Okay. Thank you. Is he on the agenda? Okay. Huh? Okay. But they'll work on that for you, Mr. Eckert. Is there anyone else? Mr. Paxton. He said he's on the agenda.
Oh, he is. You're right. He is. You're right. Yeah.
Okay.
You're right.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
But it's going to be Laura, right? All right. So now we will do consent agenda.
I move the consent agenda, which consists of the March 3rd minutes.
A second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Alexa, you're aye. Okay. Motion passes 5-0. All right, so now we do staff updates. We'll start with City Manager Beaudet.
Thank you, Madam President. I have quite a few for you tonight, so I apologize. It might be a little lengthy. Wanted to go back and remind the council about the $500,000 EDA grant that we applied for the airport. We have yet to hear back about that grant. However, I was contacted by Rusty Skinner of Career Source Citrus Levy Marion about the fact that they had to expend their funds by June 30th. He was very concerned that we weren't going to have enough time to do the workforce study. So what we ended up doing was NFEDP, North Florida Economic Development Partnership, issued an RFP to solicit proposals for the workforce capacity and industry study for the airport, as well as a 45-mile radius around the airport. They issued it on Saturday, March 7th. It is due back on Friday, March 20th. It's a very tight deadline. because of, again, us having to get this done pretty quickly. We are still being considered for the $500,000 EDA grant, but just with everything going on in DC right now, they didn't want to take a chance of losing those funds. So as soon as we hear back about the EDA grant, there is, as you recall, there is a matching component. That's what this $80,000 from CareerSource was going to be for. But Jeff Henry from NFEDP has assured me that he has another way to get those matching funds for us. So we just went ahead and told them to issue this RFP. We had an option of doing either the city doing it or NFEDP doing it. They can do it a lot faster than we can. There's no way we would have issued this in a couple of days like they did. So hopefully we'll have some people that actually bid on that, and we can get that workforce study started. Second, good news, Southwest Florida Water Management District, SwiftMud, recommended that the City of Williston be awarded $104,100 to complete the FEMA updates for the City of Williston watershed in Levy County. This is a thing that Walt's been talking to you about for the last couple months. So this project will update the flood plan models, including new developments, prepare and submit the FEMA application, draft new floodplain maps, and draft the new flood insurance rate map panels. Revised flood insurance information will be submitted to FEMA for the watershed. So that's good news. We were hoping for that. Last Tuesday, I attended a workshop with the city clerk and our utilities director. It was called Opportunity Zones 2.0, what you need to know about this once-in-a-decade economic development tool. It was in Live Oak. It's a little complicated, but I'll give you the shortened version that as I know it, because I've now been to 3 different workshops on it. So this program starts whenever a investor has capital gains from stocks or commercial real estate, cryptocurrency, anything they could get a capital gain from. They have to invest that money in 180 days. So these opportunity zones are areas, and this is throughout the entire country, that are identified by governors and then certified by the Treasury. In 2026, there were 84,414 tracts throughout the entire country and 5,160 in Florida. So basically, these are tracts that the governor has said are prime for economic development in the state. On April 2nd, we have a meeting scheduled with this gentleman named Victor Leota. He runs a company called Location Design Group, and they're going to be discussing the Williston Regional Airport, which was selected as an eligible tract. We just found this out today. We're very excited. It's tract number 9706. So very excited about the fact that it got nominated for the Opportunity Zone 2.0. Subsequently, I had a meeting yesterday with Carla Brizotto. She's an assistant professor in urbanism at the School of Architecture at UF. And she's putting together a panel of municipalities to attend a workshop on May 7th and May 8th. And the focus is on opportunity zones, interestingly enough. So these just keep coming up. The city of Williston has been chosen to participate in this workshop, and they're requesting that the city be represented by the mayor and the city manager. So if you're available on May 7th and May 8th, I would love you to join me, and we can discuss more about the opportunity zones and again about the Williston Airport. So very good news about that. This morning, I received a call from Glenn Lewis. He lives at 305 Northeast 1st Street, which is behind Kids and Company Academy. And he called to commend the utility crew who was responsible for clearing the roads and picking up the debris from the storm yesterday. So that was very exciting to get some good news from a citizen. And then last but not least, I attended the Levy County 2050 Plan Update Workshop number 6. This morning it was on infrastructure, transportation, and input. Please make sure you reach out to the county and give that to them because they will hopefully have their new comp plan updated by the end of the year. I have other things, but they're on the agenda. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we will have staff updates. We'll start with our city attorney.
I'll have a lot to say later tonight, but nothing right now.
Okay. Ms. Kim?
This week has been a very busy week for HR. We hired 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've hired 8 people this week. Gerald Coker, IT tech, and new assistant. Chancey Moncrief is dispatch. I'm going to butcher this poor lady's name, but Morgan Vanesco? Dispatch. Alex Livingood, admin assistant for fiber, Charles Garcia, our new inmate supervisor, Brooke Doyle, our new meter reader, Tip Mazel the fourth, our new road tech, and then yesterday, the part-time animal control officer Isaiah Gorman started.
Nice
job.
Welcome. Welcome, everybody. All right, anyone else from staff?
All right. Good afternoon. Good evening. I wanted to give you an update on Edmonds. So everything that was in progress as far as the last council meeting, the only thing that has been resolved is the consolidation of our billing. So instead of seeing a line for each individual tax that goes along with each individual service, it will be consolidated like it used to be. It will say electric and then your charge. That will include all of your taxes and all the fees, so it won't be all itemized out. And for our customers that have multiple meters, like our large customers like Williston Peanut and the high school, it won't say other charges anymore. It will actually say what those charges are, because it was so long, because they had so many meters, that it would say other charges, which obviously is concerning. But as far as everything else, we're still in the process of verifying if everything with the meters worked. I was actually back there uploading them as we speak. They're putting them in the system. So I would know by Thursday if everything that we have done actually made a difference as far as all the meters go. Other than that, we're just working, chugging right along. We have 2 gentlemen from Edmonds that will be here Wednesday to help with our permitting and planning and zoning, to help them get their modules up and running. When I return from vacation next week, we are going to get everybody to sign the agreement for the tablets for our work orders and expedite those, and everybody will be able to use those instead of paper copies now. They'll be able to work off the tablets for their work orders.
Okay, thank you. Questions?
Does this mean that we will get our electric bills before they're due?
So that is something Sue and I are actually working on. She reached out to some more municipalities and some towns to see where they get their printing done at, because we do realize that since we went to Edmonds and started with this new printing company, that nothing is getting to our citizens on time. And we recognize that, and we know that. The printing company says it's not them. USPS is telling us that it's not them either. So to eliminate and say who it is, we're looking at finding another printing company. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Question.
Yes.
If you would, explain to everybody here how this actually works with the billing, how you send it out on the 27th and so forth. So if you can explain that to everybody.
So we pull everybody's meters in. We do the rechecks. We know there have been a few that have been not coming over correctly, and we apologize for that. We're, again, still trying to fix all of this data. I verify the bills. We send them over to our printing company, who is BMS at this moment. I upload a file to them. They receive the file. Then I have to go into their system again and approve the file. And I have to put my initials, and it automatically puts the date and time. And from that point, it's supposed to print at their facility. And last month, the approval that I initialed apparently never went through on their side. So they tried to say that it did not come through till after the 27th, which is why the bills were late. So again, that's why we're looking for other printing companies at this time.
Okay, so next question.
Yes, sir.
At what point are we going to make a decision? Either they get the stuff fixed like we bought, or we cut them loose.
As far as whom? Edmonds or
Both
BMS?
Edmonds and this other company.
Well, Edmonds is working with us diligently to get everything resolved. We've like I said, we have 2 of the gentlemen coming in Wednesday to help with our planning and permitting department. Every time I reach out now, they don't have a problem responding pretty quickly as far as my problems and the billing issues have went. I think we've pretty much, hopefully, got them resolved. Now, the printing is a completely different company. They have nothing, they're not affiliated with Edmunds in any way. I know it's a contract that Miss Selena signed when she was here, but we've decided we're looking otherwhere. We're not concerned with the contract. We'll just be out of it.
Because it is rather bothersome, maybe?
Absolutely.
Because I was out in the hallway that day with you, talked to Miss Wise, and how many people were coming in whose bills were late.
Yep.
They have not received them, or a series of a bunch of other things.
Yes, sir. And we understand that them not getting them on time is absolutely a problem, but we do have other ways for customers to retrieve their bills. They can call up here. Customer service is always here to answer the questions and concerns, as always. And then you can access them online. And that is on the top of your bill next to your account number. There's also a PIN number on your bill. And anyone can access their bill online with those two things, view their current bill and or pay it.
But you have a lot of elderly people who are not computer savvy.
Yes, sir.
And, that's, we can't use that as an excuse. Well, they could go online and do that.
Yes.
So.
And that's why we're looking for another printing company to try to resolve this issue. We have reached out to our old printing company, TC Delivers. I'm waiting to send them, when I return, to send them a data file of our current billing software or how it presents to them. And they're going to let me know if they can take back over our contract.
So you're on vacation and you came here?
Yes, sir.
Crazy woman.
Yes. My question is with the tablets for the work orders, will they have one at the front desk?
Will the ladies have one at the front desk? No, they'll still enter them on the computer. And the gentlemen and ladies out in the field will be able to access everything that they're sending to them.
But the ladies in the front desk can put them in?
On their computers.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Did you have something?
One other question. Since we're talking on the billing.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Pinkston, he got bumped down to later into the agenda. Can we just go ahead, since we're talking about this, and let him come up and talk?
Since this updates now.
Okay.
Just on updates at the moment.
Okay.
I'll stay till Mr. Pinkston so we kind of can answer any questions he may have. Thank you. Anybody?
All right. Ms. BJ? Can it wait till public participation? That's what they're working on. They're trying to decide which way to go. He just wants to know why we can't go back to just the one piece of paper that they used to have. But they're looking into that stuff now. What about one? What did you say?
My bill. My bill is one sheet of paper.
Oh. They're working on it.
Madam President, can I just say one thing? So that's one of the options that we're considering. So we have the company that Megan just mentioned, our old company. We have two other companies that are used by the city of Gainesville and the city of Newberry. And then we're also talking about the possibility of bringing it back in-house, printing it here, and mailing it. It would probably be the fastest option, but of course it's going to cost us paper and toner and humans. We have to weigh all those things. I mean, that's literally what we're doing right now, is trying to weigh the different costs. But that is one of the options on the table, as well as to bring it back in-house. Yes.
Ms. BJ. No, you're actually on the agenda. We have to wait until you get your agenda item. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Just wanted to remind everyone we have our Lucky Paws event coming up this weekend, and we're excited. We have a bounce house for the kids. We have gift raffles, and we have a 50-50. So we're just excited and want to remind everybody about our event.
Remind me the hours again, if you will.
It starts at noon.
Noon, 12.
So we're just kind of,
Pick up your barbecue.
yes. 11 is pick up your barbecue.
Oh, 11.
So we're
Thank
starting
you.
food pickup at 11, and then the
Gotta be on
pre-orders at
time.
11. Yeah.
That would be
Okay.
the 22nd.
Don't forget the food.
21st. Saturday.
Saturday, yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Ms. Danny.
Yes, today Williston Fire, along with the American Red Cross, broke up into 5 teams and went through Northeast, East Williston, and went to probably 60 homes. Out of the 60 homes, 14 were serviced to put in smoke alarms, and we felt that, that was a good number, for the time of day and everything that we're there. So we spent a lot of time. Appreciate the Red Cross providing the smoke detectors and team members and the fire department that was there, all our guys that showed up to do it. So that's it.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Aaron.
Good evening, all. We have made a substantial amount of progress since last council meeting. The GIS data we were waiting to get from Lightset, we got that from them. I got that over to Fibersmith software company. They were able to import that in, and so far it looks really good. Everything seems to be flowing like it should. We're still working on the splice matrices, which is the actual connections of all the fiber and the splitters and how everything's connected. We got that information this week, and I got that over to them, and they're looking into it and said it looks pretty good so far, so they're going to work on getting that in. Hopefully, I'm going to say hopefully by the end of the week they might have that ready. So that is quite a bit of progress on that side. All the access points that we've got on hand for the short-term RV spots, 56 we have on hand out of 90. We've got those put in the system and inventory. I think the others should arrive tomorrow, of the 34, whatever's left of that. That gives us roughly 80 for the park and having 10 for spares. If something dies or quits, we got spare parts. Basic setup and the configuration of the workflows and the purchase portal where those customers would go in and purchase their access in the short term. That's been rough drafted and tested, and it's working pretty well. Still got a little bit more fine tuning on that to do. We've got it down to the point that it's going to be individual for each of those sites. So when they get the prompt in the portal, they don't have to do anything except click the button and it says, you're at this spot, what do you want to buy? So they don't have to even know what lot number they're on. So that's a big plus. Because it was going to be a little convoluted when they started. And I'm like, nah, you can't do this for people. They're they might not know what lot number they're in, or they type the wrong number, so we got that worked out too. See, the captive portal, which is that process, we've got that built out, and it's functioning like it should. And like I said, it first grabs them and says, hey, you're here. Like how many of you stayed in a hotel before? And you can log in, you open your browser, and it says you got to log in to continue. Same thing, same principle. That's what that is. So we've got that working like it should. The AdTran ONTs, the routers, and the fiber optic cabling, we've all got that relocated out of the Connex and storage sheds and other places where everything was. All that's been moved up to the annex building. Let's see where I'm at here. The annex building, I was going to say chief, but the pseudo chief over there, it has an alarm system already. So that's in place and it does function. We just need to get an account set up with ADT for monitoring. We have a routing issue right now with our internet that's feeding Williston Fiber that I've been fighting for about 2 weeks, off and on. It's kind of reared its ugly head 3 days ago, and I've been here for almost 48 straight hours trying to fix it. So they're close. They are aware they have the issue, but I don't have a resolution yet. So they're working on it. And it just boils down to that some websites you can't get to. One of them happens to be ours. For whatever stupid reason, we can't get to willistonfl.org on the network. No rhyme, no reason. It just randomly stops working for some sites and others, and then it'll work for a little while, and then it stops working. So it's somewhere in the grand mix of how this stuff all communicates that something's not flowing like it should. And the problem with a big company like that in telecom, you have to convince them it's their problem. You and I have faced that one before. So, the contractors and the fiber techs doing the drops to some homes last week had a couple of encounters with some mad residents. Turns out some of them were not even legitimately complaining because they were just the renter. But they raised such a stink and raised a fuss and cussed everybody out up and down the street. And it turns out that the actual owner of the property registered it for fiber. And what I've told them to do is if you show up to do an install and something happens like that, just roll your stuff up and walk away. We're not forcing anybody to anything. So we still got some equipment that we don't have here on hand. I found out last week, kind of last minute, that I have to have a server to run that Mosaic software that we talked about that communicates with the AdTrans and between Fibersmith and the ONTs. Didn't know that I needed a server until last week. So we've got that ordered. They haven't shipped yet. So I don't really know when they're going to show up. As soon as possible, I hope. I did indicate to them I needed it as quick as I could get it. Fiber techs have gotten a good handhold on placing the fiber connection that is on our existing fiber that we put in a couple years ago to feed the sewer plant. We had spare fibers in it. So they've been out splicing that to go from City Hall out to that fiber, and it runs, half of it's going north to the sewer plant, half of it's going across the street to the PD. What that'll do for us is it'll help us get the CalLink customers off that are on that direction and be able to feed the 2 that we're going to have left in CLE. We'll still be able to feed them wirelessly like we're doing CalLink. They'll still be on Williston fiber, but they're just going to get their connection through the Wi-Fi until we can figure out what we're going to do in CLE, if we do anything at all. It'll also eliminate our wireless link that we have between City Hall and the PD. And that might be part of our problem with Edmonds dropping off, is we may be losing some packets on that wireless link. So we're trying to get it switched over to fiber. That's about it. Any questions?
Any questions from the council?
Keep it on.
That's fast enough?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Any other updates from staff? Any other updates from staff? Anything from the council? Mr. Cox?
If you haven't been out to Country Lane Estates at night, you should ride out there. Their street lights that they put up are really nice. Not overpowering. It's just the right amount of light for the neighborhood. So,
Speaking of lights, I'll talk to you afterwards. No, Rob.
I've seen you looking over here. Just a real quick update with what Mr. Mike said. We do have to do some adjustments on the lights out in Country Lane Estates. Some of the houses are lit up on the front side of the house and not on the roadway. We're just trying to find the right time and stay within our means and budget to get the men out there in the evenings to do that work, because it'll have to be after dark to get a good idea how to shine those lights.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Mayor, anything from you, sir?
Yes, ma'am. I did not hear the city manager mention this. If you did, I apologize. Whistling Duck. It is a solar event. They're doing a ribbon cutting ceremony, and I believe it is tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning. I have a 6-passenger vehicle. There are 3 of us that are now going, and you are more than welcome, which leaves room for 2 more people. They said that if you can carpool, because parking will be limited. So anybody that would like to go to their ribbon cutting ceremony tomorrow morning, if you would get with the city manager or the city clerk, they know I have 2 open spaces. You can go yourself. You can ride your bicycle. I don't care. But I'm offering 2 other places. Okay? That's one. The other thing.
Before you move on.
What time are you leaving from where?
Latricia. We're supposed to be there at 10 o'clock, right? And it's about 12 minutes away. So we would leave here by 9:30.
From here.
From here, from City Hall.
I would like to ride with you, please, sir.
You will be one. Now I have 1 spot open. She's counted. So we have 1 more spot if anybody would like to, right now, speak up.
Can you tell them about the dress attire real quick? Are you aware?
You got,
of the-
yes, you gotta wear hard
Everybody
soles,
else, okay.
you gotta wear hard soled shoes, long pants, and, for some reason, they actually address the length of the sleeves. I guess they don't want you to wear a tank top. You gotta wear clothes with the sleeve in it.
I will say you have to be pre-registered, and those who have pre-registered have received that same email.
Yeah, I've received it.
Me too.
I just didn't know if it was.
Yeah, it's
public
a
and-
rather bizarre dress attire, I thought, but nonetheless, that's what it is.
Okay,
And it's
thank
going to
you.
be freezing, so we're going to need a car coat.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Did you
The
have
other
one
thing is to do with the utility department and the police department. My department with the police has been given several vehicles due to the diligence of my chief. And the utility department has need of one of those vehicles because they have a vehicle that does not work. So I'm telling you, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you the plan is that the police department is going to give the utility department one of those vehicles, and the utility department is going to give us the broken down old vehicle, and we are going to sell it for the best we can. And that way the utility department will have a more, a vehicle that is able to do the job that it needs to do. So unless I hear some big objections from the council, I'm letting you know that's what's about to happen. The last thing is about the hospital. Is everybody aware of the tax lien on that hospital? And this is a question I'm going to direct to the attorney. I can see she's looking at me up the side of her eyes. What happens if that hospital doesn't sell? Eventually, the fines on it accumulate to the point that the municipalities take the hospital? Is there any other option? I mean, if you owe $1 million in taxes, what happens to that hospital?
So the way that a tax certificate sale works is that if someone owes their taxes and they don't pay them, you can, as an independent third party, purchase a tax certificate. If you purchase and hold that tax certificate, the owner of the property can choose to pay you back. It's at a certain level of interest, and then they've paid off their taxes. Alternatively, for long enough or you have enough of them, etc., and I'd have to look back to exactly how much you would need to owe or how long you need to hold. But then the certificate owner would have the opportunity to put in a bid for what it is that they owe or that they are owed from the property. So say you hold a certificate for $50,000 worth of property taxes. You've paid $50,000 of someone's property taxes. When it inevitably goes up for tax sale, then you put in $50,000 and you don't have to pay anything. You already have a $50,000 bid.
I understand all that. Has there been any certificate buyers for that hospital?
Yes.
Before you answer, is that part of one of our agendas? If it is,
Oh, it is?
let us
Okay.
hold until then.
I want clarification on the disposal of the hospital, because the way I saw it was sooner or later that hospital is going to get more fines and tax write-offs than its value, and it's got to go someplace.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
and
you.
Can you address that, Ms. Ballou, during
Yeah, absolutely.
that time? Thank you. Anything else? Nothing? All right, that concludes our staff updates. So now at this time, we will go to item number M that has been moved to item number A, which is an open public hearing.
It is also a quasi-judicial hearing.
And it's quasi-judicial.
So the first step is we will swear in anyone who intends to testify on this matter. So anyone who intends to talk regarding the special exception SE 2026-01, please stand, raise your right hand to be sworn. All right, and I'll get your names for the record. Okay. All right. Do you all swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You are duly sworn. All right, Madam President, the next item is ex parte communications. Just as a reminder, an ex parte communication is any communication or correspondence that any member of the council has had regarding this project outside of a public meeting, to include site visits, correspondences with the owners, emails, phone calls, etc.
That have to do with this particular.
That have to do with this application, yes.
All right, I was approached by the ABC manager in charge of their licensing, and he brought their issue to my attention. I have not spoken with the owners, but only the ABC manager.
Okay, and when you say he brought the issue to your attention, just like very generally that they're applying for a special exception?
Yeah, that the deadline had expired for the licensing, and he asked that I reach out to the city to see if there was any steps that the city could offer for them to, not offer, but what steps they needed to take in order to deal with that from the city's end.
Okay. And do you feel that any of the information from that communication will affect your decision in tonight's vote? Okay. Anyone else? All right, I'm seeing 4 head shakes, so I'm going to take that as 4 no's. At this time, if there are any additional materials outside of what is in the agenda packet already for the council's review that anyone would like the council to consider during this hearing, please provide same to the clerk at this time. All right, seeing none, the first item will be the staff presentation.
Good evening, Council. Laura Jones, Planning and Zoning Department. We've seen the special exception before, but since we have a new council, I just wanted to give you a quick presentation on what a special exception is and then what the details of this particular one is. So the application is SE 2026-01. It's a special exception to allow for liquor sales. It's on parcel 05584000000, 05580000100, 05586000000, and 055800000. The addresses are 20, 28, 34, and 36 East Noble Avenue, also known as Spurs Chop House. So what is a special exception? These are zoning terms for a land use that isn't automatically permitted in a zone, but can be allowed if specific predetermined conditions are met, ensuring it promotes public welfare by controlling its location, size, and impact, often requiring a public hearing for approval, and that's why we're here tonight. So this particular special exception in commercial is in section 6335. The following are special exceptions in the commercial general areas, and then if you go down to, in the land development code, it'll say commercial intensive, C commercial general, and then this is actually the center city. We have a different, it's called the business central. It's a different kind of zoning, but it goes back to commercial general. So it's complicated to find in the zoning land development code, but specifically it says package store for sale of alcoholic beverages, bar, tavern, or cocktail lounge. So they're all in there together. I just gave you some more information on the next page about where these places can go. We know that they can't go within 300 feet of a church or a school. We've been through that a couple of times. And then we have some definitions. Our land development code definitely needs to be updated, and we're going to work on that in 2027 after some of these bills expire, that we can actually update our land development code and our comp plan is finished. But alcoholic beverages mean distilled spirits, and all beverages containing 0.5% or more of alcohol by volume. I also gave you the definitions of church and child care facilities, just in case you were curious. I gave you definitions of establishment in dealing with alcoholic beverages, which means any business or establishment licensed by the state for the sale or service of alcoholic beverages and includes the term licensed premises as defined in state statutes. I gave you a couple other ones that talk about what a restaurant is, what a vendor is. There are a couple limitations. Even if you do allow the special exception, doesn't mean that they can just carte blanche do whatever they want. There are still rules in the Land Development Code. In Section 6-3, there's hours. Section 6-4, we talk about no sale on the 25th of December. And then Section 6.5, inspections to determine violations, revocation, and suspensions of license. That's usually from the state. We try not to regulate anything like that since it is a state license. This is just a zoning requirement. So Chapter 6 talks again about alcoholic beverages. I have some maps for you on the next page, Latricia, if you want to go to the map so that everybody knows what we're talking about. We're sitting here at City Hall, and across the street in Block 12, the property is not the one on the corner, which is the old bank, but it's the 4 properties next to it that Spurs has purchased. That used to be an old antique store. Does everybody know what we're talking about? The next one is the central business zoning, and that's just a requirement for me to give you guys what their zoning is. And then your surrounding area is 300 feet. We have no churches and no schools. So our staff findings are that the petition has met the required criteria. The Planning Commission did not recommend approval. In fact, they said that it would be okay if it was a cocktail bar, but they did not like the package store idea. I do have the property owners here to explain what's really going on if you guys want to hear it from them. But as far as the special exception from your planning department, it does meet all the requirements. Do you have any questions from me about the zoning or planning of this? Ms. Meredith.
I would like to know why the planning committee felt that the package store would not be desirable.
Specifically, that if you go into the store and you buy liquor and you walk to the park and drink it, they thought that that was untowards for our city.
It was what?
They didn't like that for our city, unattractive.
Someone could go into the package store, buy alcohol, and walk to the park.
Yes, sir.
And if somebody goes into the 7-Eleven and buys beer and walks to the park, it's different?
No, sir, I did not argue.
Okay.
I just wrote down the recommendations. Also, it is illegal to drink alcohol in our parks. So we did talk to the police chief about it, and they do regulate our parks. So it should not be a major issue, but that was their issue.
And did they draw any line between this package store and the package store on the top of the hill, Big O's? Was there any clarification about the difference in approach to both of those businesses?
Councilwoman Martin, I did not bring up any other package stores in town. I just let them give their recommendation.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I was just curious.
Yeah.
Ms. Jones, turn your mic on.
My questions are probably more for them. And what type of alcohol license do they have?
Yeah,
because there are lots of different kinds.
If President Hinds wants them to come up and talk, that would be fine with me.
Okay.
You have no more questions about planning and zoning?
Not right now, anyway.
They may.
Maybe.
We reserve the right
Yes, we do.
call you.
To back up.
Hello, everybody. Donald Kreischer. Many of you know us already because we've been trying to get this put together for years now. I wish I had never told you we were going to start it until recently, but here we are. But as you mentioned the other day or earlier, that we let our liquor license go to a term where they may take it from us, and this is a private license which has a package license connected to it. This came from the Shrimp Landing in Inglis. That's who we bought it from, and they had a package store. So that's the only reason that we own the package part of it, is because it came with the license. So we actually had no intention of using the package, but it's just part of the license itself. And of course, it's full beer, wine, and liquor. Our intention is to have it in the restaurant as a cocktails and, for the bar. If any of you have ever been to like a Mark's or Embers, they have the bar inside the steakhouse, and it's very nice to sit and have a drink, like Applebee's, whatever. Or sit there and eat. Exactly.
Excuse me, Mr. Kiersten, real quick. Can you pull the mic up so that we can hear you a little bit better?
A little tall. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi.
You don't do that. Okay, thank you.
But anyway, that's the design of the business plan, is to have a nice restaurant. If you want to leave and go to a separate area of the bar, you could, or you could go to, have a cocktail brought to your table. We had a bar for over 10 years in Ocala. We had a big billiard room and a very nice place, family oriented. And our goal is to have the same thing here. We're not going to have the old Willards, although I wasn't here when the old Willards was around. We're not going to have riffraff and people drinking outside. We're going to be a responsible place. Unfortunately, though, for the license itself, because of, I'm not going to blame Laura, but the parking lot has hindered us quite a bit in terms of finishing that project. And our ignorance in owning a license without it being established in a actual location, we're on the verge of losing that license that we paid for. So the city we're trying to get the city to allow us to build a liquor store. This is what we're looking for today, which we don't plan on keeping, but it's going to be cheap. We put a bathroom in, we put a couple of shelves, we have a liquor store until we get the restaurant done, and then it will convert to the bar restaurant. So I know that kind of threw a loop in because a lot of you didn't know exactly what we were here for.
So you have multiple types of license. You have license for a package store, you have license for on-premises consumption.
They're virtually the same license, yes.
Okay, well, I mean, some are some and some...
Well, some of them have a package.
So you have a combination license that does both.
Right.
Okay, for on-premises, not just for beer and wine, but for hard liquor, which is a different license than just beer and wine, and also for package.
For package, exactly.
Okay, I will say that I have absolutely no problem with a restaurant that serves a cocktail or beer and wine. Which I know you're not ready for yet, and it's probably why you're interested in doing the other, so you won't lose the license.
That's correct.
I would not like the package store. Like when you mentioned the Embers, there is no package store inside of Embers. There is a wonderful bar and restaurant.
That is correct.
But there's not a package store. So that is my only drawback, I can tell you.
Again, it's temporary. It literally, I mean, once we get we have to have a location for that license. If we don't have a location for the license, we lose the license.
Yeah.
And then it all goes.
Yeah, I did do some research and saw that you had to have so many days open and that sort of thing in order to keep the license.
We actually got an extension and then screwed that up. So we're at the final days.
Because they only allow so many per county.
Correct.
And if you don't use it, they want you to give it up so somebody else can use it.
That's exactly
I did
right.
do some research on that. So I think that answers my question for right now. I may have some more in a minute.
Nobody else?
My biggest question is, I hear your intentions, but a lot of people have good intentions. Your intentions are not to maintain that package store, but to convert it to a bar to accompany the restaurant, and then at that point to quit selling bottled alcohol for removal from the premises at that package store.
That's correct.
That is your intention.
Well, we've spent $400,000 in intentions.
I understand. I just want to be help everyone get clarity.
Understood.
And so while that's your intention, is there any way that you can set a time frame for the council to help them to say, okay, he's not going to get the package store. We've allowed it. Now he'll just keep a package store forever. Because, in fact, that's what you could do. And I think that would be the only thing that might, and I'm not speaking for them, but might cause them to resist.
Yeah. And I think that's why they didn't recommend us with the last hearing that we had, is that very thing that I may just, and I have to be honest, if I'm making $1 million a week, I'm keeping it. But I think we all know that with that broken parking lot right now and the time frame that's going to take to get that started, we're probably not even going to have customers, just they're going to have a sign on the door that says open.
And you're gonna have to have a band or something. I've been waiting for it to open for a year.
Exactly. Well, if you don't let us do this, we were not going to have a band. So, any other questions?
Only for Kiersten, are there any legal ramifications for the ask?
There's always legal ramifications of everything that you do and don't do, as it turns out.
Just because he said this is why he's wanting, he's really not going to do what is required in a sense.
You are not required to provide the special exception. The only reasons, let me phrase it like this. The only reasons to grant or deny the special exception are the reasons laid out in your code regarding public nuisance and good for the health and safety and all the other factors that are laid out in the code that Laura laid out for you. So those are your considerations. Certainly that can factor in as a sort of soft factor into one of those different categories, but it's not something that is dispositive one way or the other for you all. Doesn't have to be, unless you choose it to be.
Okay, thank you.
Got a question. So when do you plan to start the restaurant? If you get the package lounge, store going.
What everybody doesn't know is we already have all the restaurant equipment. We already have the drawings. We already have the bar equipment. We already have everything that we need to start building. In fact, we hired a project management company to come in and start. We're going to be pulling permits pretty quickly. But we're just in the final few days that if we don't do something, we actually had to spend more money to create a set of plans for a liquor store with some shelves in it just so we could, get that moving. But we're already well underway to getting the restaurant going. If I was to take you over there now, you'd walk in one building that has all of the restaurant equipment. We've already got booths, tables. I mean, we're set. We just can't do anything.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
So for Laura and Miss Kiersten, we could give him a special exception with a stipulation saying that he can have a package store for 1 year.
I don't think you can do that. Can you?
Where is it? You. Okay, thank you. I couldn't tell where the voice came from.
You can grant with conditions on the special exception. So special exceptions, just generally speaking, just a 10,000-foot view, are different than variances, right? A variance runs with the land. So when you grant a variance, everyone who owns the land in the future forever has that variance. The special exception runs with the applicant. And the special exception is specific to just those things that are in that category of special exception which they've asked for. So it's package stores and the bar restaurant concept would be included in that same special exception situation. So you can provide conditions that are tied to the factors laid out in your code. A lot of the time conditions include ensuring sufficient parking spaces or setting limitations on hours or things like that. So you can make those conditions. I've not had anyone ever try to do a time limitation on a special exception. I will say that you can do just about anything with the consent of the owner. So if we are in agreement on a certain condition, then that's perfectly acceptable.
Okay.
I just want to caution putting extreme limitations on a downtown business. If you want to put a time restraint on them of some sort, I would make it lenient. You never know what's going to happen. We could have another one of those storms tomorrow and it could rip his roof off. And now you've told him he can't keep his special exception when he's, because he's trying to fix his roof. Things can happen. So I wouldn't give him a 6 month or 1 year. I would be a little bit more lenient. A year goes by fast.
I honestly don't think that downtown is the proper place for a package store. Lot 12. I don't believe that's the proper place for a package store. I did not know the reason planning and zoning said no. but I tend to agree that on-premises consumption and walking out the door with it are two totally different things. I realize they're not always. Sometimes they do both, but there's usually a separate entrance, and you may be doing that. I'm not really sure. I did see the extra plan with the package store in it with the shelving, and that the other plan did not have it in it. So that's just kind of where I'm going. I temporarily, so you don't lose that license, but I wouldn't want it to be there for any great length of time.
Well, the good news
So-
is we agree with you.
Yeah, we all agree, but I am the business development person as well. And if he is making $1 million a month, I would hate to shut him down because we didn't like it down. If he's doing a great business, I just want you to be cautious about that. That's all.
Ms. Meredith?
I strongly disagree with Debra. I think that it is a perfectly acceptable place. I don't know why it would be any different than up on the hill where Big O's is, which has equal proximity to a park, and to the John Henry Park. John Henry Park? Yeah. And
Because it's not on-premises consumption. That makes the difference.
But it doesn't.
No. They can't drink in the package store.
Right, they can't, right, yeah.
You drink it next door if they keep it.
That's
my point.
No,
But then that's already a bar.
That's their bar and restaurant.
They're already going to have a bar, right?
Ultimately. And I will say that I have been to a lot of very nice downtowns that have exactly what he's describing, which is a bar and a restaurant with a package store. Sometimes it's, fine wine. Sometimes it's a mix of whatever, where people can drink. They like the wine. They go next door and they take a bottle of it home. And in my personal experience, it's never caused an issue before, and I don't know why we would discriminate between the top of the hill and this area, which we do want to revitalize. So, I just beg to differ with Debra's assessment of the situation.
So mainly, you're just going to use it to keep the license, and then once the restaurant's built, you're basically going to pull the package store away.
We're going to be continuing construction on the restaurant while the liquor store is open. I don't foresee us making any money there because people are not going to park at Melanie's and walk down and, when they can just go to the top of the hill and pull right up to the front door.
Right. So you'll just, once the restaurant's completed, then the package store will kind of
Exactly. Then we'll have
Okay.
a temporary bar in the restaurant, and then the liquor store itself will change into the actual bar, which may take another year. Who knows how long that will take. But at least, and that's why you'll see that we are utilizing all three buildings for the license, so that way things can just move right down into the restaurant.
Okay.
And I get it. I think Ms. Deborah's looking at location, not necessarily that it's just a package bar. But
Well, look, let me say that one more thing. We are trying to revitalize downtown. We bought those buildings because the promise of having that parking lot done, and we want, people to be able to park, come in and enjoy not just our restaurant, our bar, maybe we do a small pool hall there, and maybe there's other businesses. I know that you have family that are doing other things there. I mean, I look at Alachua, Ocala, Gainesville, and I'm disgusted that this highway rides right in front of it, but it is what it is. So the only thing that we can do is wrap it around the back and utilize those buildings for a nice downtown area where people can actually go and have a nice dinner outside of Sisters and other places that are coming. So I know I agree with you, Debra, about the liquor store. I don't want the liquor store, but to keep the license and to keep Spurs alive, I have to do it. So that's why we're here.
understood, yeah.
So you don't have a problem with the stipulation of time?
I personally don't. I agree with her. Things do happen. So if you were to give me a stipulation, I would rather it be at least 2 years, to give me
Thank
something.
you. That's what I've been raising my hand.
Okay, but Mr. Mayor, stop talking out of turn, please. Mr. Mayor?
Thank you, Madam President. What timeline would you find reasonable that you could live with in the stipulation that some members of the council have asked if you could deal with?
I would think a 2-year timeline would
That's
be
it.
sufficient
That's all I wanted.
for
Thank
us. Yeah. And hope we do it in 6 months or 1 year.
Okay. And that's a fair ask. That's what we're here for, to ask
Sure.
questions and, try to make sure that we're doing what's appropriate for the
Of course.
city.
Quasi-judicial, you have to wait your turn.
Okay. Anyone else?
The public.
We have to vote first, don't we?
So you'll have anything else from the applicant? Nothing else that you want to present?
All out.
Okay. All right, then it would be time for public comment. Then the applicant and staff will have an opportunity to rebuttal.
Okay. So we don't vote first and
Not
then have them do it? Okay.
Not yet.
All right. Public, please. Joby?
With them having a special exceptions or whatever y'all are
You talking
about,
to the mic.
whatever y'all are talking about, I know, what if this is for Kiersten. So what if they did a special assessment on it and say that for 6 months he ends up selling it, that special assessment will go away, correct? Right. It won't go
That
on
is
to
correct.
it won't go on to so there's no
That's
sense
correct.
there's no sense even putting a special exception on it, period. I mean, he could resell it and then it's just washed away and it is what it is, right?
The special exception is for him.
Right, but if he resold it within 6 months, the special assessment
Gone.
So
would have to come
there's no
back.
point I even having a special
They would
assessment.
have to come back.
But there is. That's the process.
Yeah, they would have to come back and get the special exception.
Anyone else? Mr. Fuller?
Albert Fuller from Williston. I do think there is an inherent difference between B&O and this location unless he's able to provide a drive-through. Because B&O has a drive-through which doesn't demand parking. And there is a limitation on the parking out there. And so a restaurant and a package store may not fit. And so there is a reason why there may need to be a limitation put on it so that the two may not be able to operate simultaneously. And that would then just say that once the restaurant closes, and once the restaurant opens, the package store may need to close anyway.
Thank you. Anything further from?
I'll just comment that at
You
least
too?
they'll be the only thing open at night for now. And he can have the whole parking lot. Unless something else opens at night.
What happened?
He'll be the only store open at night that's in the Block 12 area. So the parking lot's empty except for him.
Any other discussion?
Daytime may be a little different.
Any further discussion?
If there's nothing else from the public, the applicant and staff have an opportunity to rebut.
I was just going to say that, from the very beginning of us talking about opening spurs, people wanted to be able to eat a little bit later at night. So we plan on being open a little bit later for at least the restaurant side so people could actually have a dinner coming back from Gainesville or wherever the hell they come from.
So past 10 o'clock?
Yes.
Past 11?
At least till
Maybe a
10
hot
o'clock,
dog.
it'd be nice.
Midnight? Maybe?
Midnight hot dogs.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Anything from mom is wonderful.
I mean, I always say, I'm like, why do people close so early? People want to.
Because we go to bed early.
We don't. You do.
Not me, I'm a night owl.
Okay. Anything else from you, Ms. Jones?
Yeah, I just wanted in closing, as your LDR administrator, just remember that it does meet the criteria. And as your business development manager, we need it. So think about that 2 years a little bit. If you're going to make a motion, I would extend it as long as you possibly can because, again, we don't know what's going to happen with businesses or with buildings, especially of that age. I would just hate for them to run out of that 2 years because of something that has to do with the building or the parking lots.
Does that stipulation have to be in this particular special exception now? Are
If
they gonna
that's
have
what
to
you're
come-
asking for, I'll write a
They're gonna have to
resolution.
come back and.
It can be an agenda, it can be a consent agenda for the
Okay.
resolution, but it would be a contract between city council and the property owner.
Yeah, that's part of the motion.
Mr. Cox, did you have something else?
No.
Okay.
So you would need to do things. One, when you make the motion to approve, if there are any conditions, i.e. 2 years, I would make sure that that's in the motion when it's made. And then the second thing is you can also allow for another special exception to be applied for at the end of that as part of your condition, if that's what you
Yes.
choose, right? If at the end of the 2 years, you want them to have the ability to reapply, you can provide that. You don't have to, I just heard that as a concern.
Can we get a motion?
Well, so
You have another question?
No, I mean, I guess there's just the discussion at this point between us about what the motion would be, like what number of years we would put on it. And it's a lot to ask them to invest with no guarantee that in 2 years that the special exception would be renewed, and on the off chance that they find some issues or the parking lot or we have a hurricane or whatever it is that slows this down. We want to ask a business owner who's invested in coming in and putting a business in that to have the faith that after they make all of that investment in 2 years, if something has delayed the process, they may not receive a second special exception from us because they would have to come to a vote. And I think that's a lot to ask of a business owner to make that level of investment without a certain number of years of, as Laura said, 2 years. I mean, how long have they been working on it? I mean, 2 years have gone by in the blink of an eye, and just don't know. So I would be more comfortable with 3 years.
Okay. Well, he was asked the question, and he said 2 years.
Thank you. I was thinking 18 months. I was going to meet you halfway.
I make a motion, we approve special exception application SC 2026-01 with no time limitation.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? No second. Motion dies.
No, I'll do it. I'll second it.
You late. You too late.
I
said motion dies. Can I let him?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
Nay. Motion passes 3-2. All right. So our public hearing is now closed. So now we will go with item B, discussion with possible action, city utility bills being received late, business owner Carl Pinkston.
Yeah, I'm Carl Pinkston. I live at 912 Northwest 7th Street. Been here a long, long time, probably more than anybody in this room has been here in this town. It's been discussed. I received my bill the 10th. It was due that day. I came down here the 11th. They told me about the mail situation. Even though the bills are mailed out on the 26th or the 27th, going through the mails today that we go through, we could be able to get the little lady that has a fixed income, have her money back in by the 10th. Well, why is the 10th so much expressed on this? Why don't we make it the 15th, where that little lady that don't know what her light bill is going to be anyway? I have got thousands of dollar light bills. In my business a couple of months ago, I got a $6,000 light bill at my business out there. Okay. Unreal for this town. Unreal for this town. But we paid it. But this little lady that lives on a fixed income, she might need a few days to look at this bill that she's getting and not make it on the 10th, be so designated on the 10th. I used to get my bill a long time ago on the 26th. I could almost go home on the 26th of the month, and there my bill was, and I had the 10th to pay it. A long time that went on, and now we can't get them done. We start doing them on the 27th. It goes somewhere, probably the 3rd or the 4th, to get mailed back to us, and then we got to, and then get back to you, and then we mail them to us, and then we get the mail back to you, and it's a day or two late, like I did a couple of months ago. I mailed about 3 or 4 days before my light bill was due, and then I got a late charge because my bill was late getting to the city hall.
I totally agree.
Me
Mr.
too.
Pinkston,
We all agree.
we all agree? It's
Why,
a-
why the bill got
Timer.
to be due on the 10th?
Nobody did the timer.
If we going to,
We don't need-
if our services, if you're giving our people here in town is so bad with the mail, why don't we make it due on the 15th?
on the agenda.
And give some people more time.
I know this past month, they did make them due on the 12th instead of the 10th.
1 month, 1 month.
Yeah.
1 month, 2 days, one time, 2 days. And I didn't know it. I didn't know it, but I didn't know I would be late when I mailed it about 3 or 4 days to you before time. And then the mail held it up for some reason. And then I got billed a late charge, which I paid. I paid the $6,000 bill you gave me at the mini storage a couple of months ago. I paid it. It's an unfair bill for a poor guy in Williston trying to make a living, but we pay it. And I think the people of Williston need to be taking into consideration about the 10th of the month being a deadline. Why don't we spend it to the 15th, give a little lady a few more days to get her little money together?
Yep.
That's all I've got to say.
Okay, if you'll just stay there for a second, Mr. Pinkston. Miss Megan, I'm gonna let Miss Megan respond to you.
So, as far as I'm aware, I've lived in and around Williston my entire life. Every time a customer opens an account with the city of Williston, it specifically says on your paperwork when you signed up for your account, you're basically signing a contract, and it does say that all bills are due by the 10th. So that's the contract that everyone signed. So everyone knows, if you read, it does say that all bills are due on the 10th.
But you have to get it to know what it is.
At that time, I was getting on the 26th of the month.
Correct. I know that you have to get it to know what it is, but it also says that it's due by the 10th on the contract that you sign when you sign your utility account.
Is that
Now,
right?
Miss Sue and I have, and Mr. Rob here, we did push it out this month, and we didn't apply late fees for 4 or 5 days till after. And we did so the last couple of months because of the issue with everybody getting their bills.
City fathers, y'all can change it. Make it the 15th. Why do we have to have it on the 10th?
So-
the mail service we have today.
Even if we change it to the 15th and there's issues with the mail and you receiving the bill, it's going to be the same complaint on the 15th, that you didn't get it at the 15th. We shouldn't keep moving dates because
We should get people that know how to do the job, that is able to do it. It can be done in the time frame we have.
so.
It's not. It's not.
Well, they're actually working on it. They moved to somebody different. That person is not working out, so now they're looking at going back to where we were before with somebody else who could potentially do it the way they need to do it. They're even talking about bringing it back in-house. So they're working on it. They're talking about it. But that's just like, and I don't mean to be rude about it, but that's just like if you have any other bill with anybody else and there's a due date, you pay that due date whether or not you get the bill or not because you know that it's due.
I have no bill coming to my house that's due in 3 days from the time I get the letter. 3 days from the time.
I've opened up a couple of days before mine was due. I'm just saying, I'm just being the devil's advocate at this point, but I'm just saying we all know that the bill is due, and if you haven't received it, then call. But when they find that there's an issue,
I'm old. I can't.
I'm young, and I understand. I can't either.
I can't either.
Sometimes,
The office does it,
but
I don't.
we all have to own the responsibility in it, and we are owning some responsibility by saying, okay, it's being late, and we're working on trying to do something different so that this doesn't happen.
When do you expect under the new program? When do you expect the customer to receive the bill?
Miss Megan.
Under the new program we're going under, when do you expect the customer to receive the bill in the mail?
We are looking into multiple different companies to print our bill. I think Ms. Sue and Mr. Rob and I decided that this month particularly we will be printing them in-house to send out ourselves, and then we will go from there to a new printing company.
And please keep in mind that sometimes the U.S. Postal Service is also the delayiness, and
Amen to that.
we don't have control over the Postal Service, unfortunately.
Mr. Mayor?
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to point out that I have been a victim of the same thing. And like the president said, I knew my bill was due on the 10th. I didn't know how to pay it because I didn't know what it was. So I walked into City Hall on the 10th and I said, I need to pay my bill, but I don't know what it is. And they gave me the amount and I wrote them a check. It's not that difficult. It's not something that you want to have to do continuously, but if you, what the president said is absolutely clear. You have a bill, it's due on the 10th. If you haven't received it, find out why. And simply come to this City Hall, and the girls within 5 minutes had my bill. I was prepared to pay whatever it was, and it was over. It was inconvenient, but sometimes there are inconveniences. Thank you.
Madam President, can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. First and foremost, I want to take some responsibility here, Mr. Pinkston, because the city had been given a recommendation by our finance director to utilize some funds from our rate stabilization fund, which is basically for lack of a better word, a savings account to help our residents with their high utility bills that we knew were coming because of the gas prices. It took us a few days. There was multiple of us that consulted on this, and we went through several bills to see how it would affect if we used this rate stabilization fund. If we did not use it, people's bills would have been as high as 35% more. So it was a decision that I did not take very lightly. It took me a day or two to make that decision. So that's the reason the bills went out on the 27th rather than on the 25th when Megan originally said they were going to go out. So part of that is my fault, but I wanted to be very diligent about how I was utilizing taxpayers' funds. So that's the first thing I want to be very clear about, and the fact that we may need to dip into this rate stabilization fund again this month because gas prices, as you know, are even worse now than they were a month ago. For what you're recommending, that is in our code. We have that in our, our municipal code that says the bills are due on the 10th and we assess late fees on such and such date and cutoffs on such and such date. So what we would need to do, and I will discuss this with Rob and Megan, is we will need to start reading the meters earlier to try and get these bills out earlier in the month. And we will definitely discuss that tomorrow. We have to wait until obviously cutoffs are done and, there's a certain time frame that we can't even start meter reading. But once all that's done, we can see if maybe we can push that up a little further to try and again get the bills out a little closer. But
I think that's a great idea.
yes, and we can certainly look at doing that. But I want to be clear that we are working with the postmaster. We met with Mr. Ortiz last week. He knew it was a problem because, of course, we are pointing the finger at the post office, and so he knew it was a problem because people are going right to him. So I don't want to put all the blame on the postmaster because, again, some of it was the decision that we made to use the rate stabilization fund. And I won't say that bringing the bills in-house is going to be an absolute fix-all because, as you probably know, when you mail something out of Williston, it goes to Jacksonville and comes back. And the reason for that, and this is getting a little in the weeds, but it's for something called informed delivery, which some of our residents may have, where you get a email that shows you what your bills are coming in the mail that day. That cannot be done here in Williston. It has to be done in Jacksonville. So that's the reason that even if you mail something to your neighbor, it's going to go to Jacksonville and come back. That's still going to take probably a week to do. So there's a lot of things we have to do to take, into consideration here. But again, it is something that we are working on. Again, we met with the postmaster. We've been meeting, Rob and Megan and I. We are diligently working on getting a solution because it's not acceptable to get your bill the day that it's due. We 100% agree with you.
So, I have a thing.
Anything else, Mr. Pinkston?
No, ma'am.
Did you have something in
Yes.
Cox?
So, since we've got it as a problem, we know it, we got to deal with it. So I'm going to say this is not going to be popular. There are people who go to a lot of meetings. City manager, she goes, Rob, which I don't understand why you would go to so many. But you, for the next 2 weeks till the next council, you work hand in hand with Megan to get it done. Nope, don't go to any meetings. Come back with the solution so we can give residents. Because this, it's gone on too long. I hear it. I pay just like everybody else. But I hear it from a lot more family members. And it's Sorry, it's not fair. We got to own, I think, a little more responsibility because we're coming to the dinner table late. We should have been doing this a couple months, 2 or 3 months back.
You want, go ahead, Mr. Mayor.
Vice President Cox, I hope you're not telling the city manager that she can't go to the ribbon cutting ceremony 12 miles away.
She can go to that tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. You can, yes.
I just wanted to state that I believe a key element to the main concern is not just that we can't get our information as far as like what we have to pay that day or what we have to pay that month before the actual due date, but the fact that we have no idea what bracket of bill we're going to be facing, whether it's going to be $150 or $800, because we don't have a rate stabilization that applies to everyone's bills every month to kind of keep it within a certain wheelhouse. So if you have lower months, you pay a little bit more, so that way your average bill is around $300, for example. On your higher months, it would take away from that and kind of help to level that out. The rate stabilization fund is great to have, but if it's something we're not utilizing all the time, then for the residents, we have no idea what our bill is going to be. And the panic sets in when we receive our bill, let's say on the 10th, it's due on the 10th, and we know if we don't have it within 2 days, there's a panic, there's a freak out mode. If it's $100 or $200-300, it's not that big of a deal, but if it's $800, how can you find that within 2 days? That's, I believe, where a big portion of that panic sets in. We don't know what our bill is. We don't know when we'll receive our bill, and we have no idea what range it's going to actually be. So every month for myself, I'm freaking out saying, I hope I have what it's going to be this month. But if it was something a little bit more averaged from utilizing the rate stabilization, I think it would help to ease some of that concern, as well as all the other efforts that are being placed to be able to get those bills out at a more reasonable time frame. I think if we are able to at least discuss that with the residents, that we're looking at that from all angles and we're actually going to be able to apply that, I think that'll even help with the annexation. That's the biggest concern. What's going on with our bill? You have no idea. You don't know when you're going to receive it, and you have very short amount of time to actually get it in. It makes it very hard for people.
So let me ask you, when prior to all of this happening, when did you typically get your bill?
I would say 8 months ago. It used to be before the beginning of the month or around the beginning of the month, so you had a little bit of time.
If before the beginning of the month, around the beginning of the month, you have not received your bill, then
I would usually go online, try to figure out what's going on.
That would be an opportunity to say, okay, I haven't received my bill.
But I know our online was also having
maybe
issues.
wait a day and then say, hey, I haven't received my bill.
But another
Can you tell
point
me
that
what my bill is?
was brought up is not every household in Williston has those opportunities. For my elderly family members, they call me. They're like, hey, can you look online? Can you see what's going on? Can you call? Because it's a little bit harder for them to be able to do so. And if that's the case, then it makes it even that much harder for them to receive the notifications that are usually posted on Facebook or somewhere along those lines. They don't see that because they don't utilize the internet.
And I get it. I understand. I'm just saying there's a part for everybody to play.
Of course.
It's not just, one way. Everybody has to own what's going on. So we have to own it from our different perspectives.
Of course. It all plays a role in the overall issue that is the monthly bills.
Yeah. Ms. Debra.
I would say if you give them an email, whether it's your business email or your personal email, they will email it to you before the end of the month.
Right.
Every month.
Like there are some
That's what we've done at our
some
business.
citizens that
we could be late, y'all gonna not have electricity at our mini storage. So we sure to get it in. Amanda, make sure she gets.
Well, I have my house. I have my personal email on my home. I have my personal email on my business. I get both of those before the end of the month by email. At the church where I work, we have 5 bills, and I get all 5 of them before the end of the month.
Right.
And I print them and I pay the bill.
I did not know that was an option.
Yes, sir. So make sure you give those 2 ladies at the front your email, and they will
give you my.
They will send it to you.
Forget it.
It's the best way to do it right now.
Anything else?
And if it's wrong and they do some adjustment, they will send you a new bill.
Right.
They will send you a second one.
Mr. Pinkston, thank you. Mr. Pinkston, anything else from you, sir?
No, I just came to talk to the little lady like me that 86 years. I don't have not email. I don't have an email address. I don't have all this stuff emailed. At my home, at my office, the girls run it for me. At my home, I don't. So just consider the little lady that don't know what, like the lady said, don't know what her light bill's gonna be.
Thank you for coming in
Okay.
place
Thank
of
you
her.
for what you do
Mr.
for the
Cox.
city.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Pinkston. I would say that,
Mr. Langdon. Oh, sorry.
Mr. Lincoln, go ahead.
I would just say we got to be careful about, we talk about the rate stabilization.
So
a monthly,
It's something we can't use every day.
a monthly thing.
Right.
That's only when bills
Absolutely
would go up, absolutely necessary. So we got to be very careful in saying, you know, we're doing it this month, we might have to do it next month because people will get in a habit of it. And then when we do need it to help people, we
there.
won't have it. So we got to be very careful.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Robert Langen, 500 Northwest Fifth Avenue. I agree with Vice President Cox. Guys, I've been hearing this damn stuff for 6, 8, 10 months about billing. It's time for y'all to get off the damn fence post and make a decision. People, and the mayor's right, people can come in here, but not everybody can make it in here. They got travel issues, they got disabilities. They can't, not everybody in town can come up here to City Hall desk and ask them. And not everybody, I'm willing to bet a nickel or two, that not everybody in town has internet and computer access. Y'all are making a mountain out of a molehill. Just make a decision and get it on. If the people aren't doing it, I know Sue's working hard on it. I know Robert's working hard on it. I've talked to him, and this has come up in passing on other subjects, but you as the board just need to make a decision, either change the company, bring it in-house, give it to another company. And guys, it doesn't take 6 months to make this kind of a decision. It's just lack of attention to the specific problem that's being kicked down the football field. Thank you.
Except we don't make that decision.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Wright.
I'm not trying to make an excuse, but we don't know that the bills are late until someone calls us and let us know. So we are unaware as well that the bills are being late to the customers.
The city limits. I said because none of you live in the city limits and you don't get a bill.
No, but even if the customers, you know,
Yeah.
they have to call us and let us know that, hey, we didn't receive our bill. And then we speak to each other and talk with Sue and say, hey, you know, the customers haven't received their bill. And then that's when Megan and Sue get together and have me put something out on Facebook.
Yeah.
But until someone calls in, we don't know that they're late.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So we're actively working on that. All right. So we'll move on to the next item, discussion with possible action, update on Williston Fiber, Hector Samario with performance services, but Hector's not here.
Hector's not here.
Okay. And you are?
Mike McCann, Performance
Mr. McCann.
Services Project Manager.
Hi.
Right now, we're our primary focus is finishing up the drops in the city that are going to the customers. We were issued 865, but as Aaron said, we had 2 that kind of dropped off that list. So we have 863, which means by contract we're required to do 950. So we have 87 more customers that we need to do drops for at some point. We have now completed all of the drops that we can complete. We have 12 left, and of those 12, we've got 4 that are being held up because we haven't gotten the permits approved. We've got 4 that are a commercial property where I think it's an apartment where someone has said, yeah, I want fiber, but we've got to get approval from the apartment complex before we can install there. So there's 12 of them that have issues like that we have to work through before we can finalize those installations. We're also doing testing, and we've now got testing done in 7 of the 9 zones. We're finishing up the last 2 zones, and then we'll go back and finish the few that we found where we've got trouble. I think they said right now with the 7 that we've got about 10 locations where we need to investigate what the problem is. So we've got troubleshooting to do in about 10 locations there. Don't know how many we'll get in the last 2 zones, but it hasn't been substantial for any of the zones. The other big item is the permits, and we have submitted for information from 811 Engineering Locate to get information on the utilities that are possibly in the area. Previously, we didn't put all the information in the permits, and that was part of the reason they were getting rejected. So we're getting the information from 811 to tell us who might be in the area, and we're just going to broadcast notifications to everybody that we're essentially doing work in the area and to let them know that we're there. We expect to have that was done, actually the city did that, and we're expecting to have that information anytime. I believe it was done on Thursday of last week, so we should be hearing tomorrow at the latest, Thursday. I can't remember how many hours or how many, that they have to respond, but it should be in the next day or so. So as soon as we get that information, it'll take us about a day or 2 to finish up the permit drawings, and then we'll get with FDOT, and the plan was that we will do a Teams meeting with them, do a visual review of the permits prior to resubmitting them just to make sure everything's good, and then sending those in to them. So we are feel like we're very close, but we're still working. The other big thing that will be coming up is we've got to figure out what to do with the 87 remaining drops that we owe you, and how we're going to fill those out, whether we wait, as more customers come in and come back and do those, or how, you guys want to handle that. So the one caveat to that is once we would kind of leave, we would need 5 or so to be able to come back, just so that we had a day's worth of work to complete. So that would be the only thing, is we might not be able to come back if somebody calls that next day to come back and do an installation. So.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion from council?
Question on the permit resubmission. Are you going to help them and be part of that team's meeting with FDOT?
I will be, but I'm not going to make any indications that I have a significant knowledge that would help them, other than just I was in the meeting with FDOT the last time, so I have an idea of what is required or what FDOT is wanting to see on the drawings. So we are making sure that we get that information. We also did get some additional information from Aaron for some utilities that you guys have that we weren't told that existed. So we've been able to incorporate all of that in. So there'll be a lot more information that is shown because we're able to get that information from Aaron.
I know there's been a previous Teams meeting with the subcontractor to do those permits, and the subcontractors were not following through like they should have, and that's one of the reasons we don't still have them. I just think it's important that somebody from Performance Services take part in that meeting so that they can be on top of it and know that it's getting done.
Yep.
Because we're about tired of waiting, in all honesty.
Anyone else? Ms. Meredith?
I have a question. Last time Hector said that we were very close. In fact, I think he said within the week or so. It's been 2 weeks. So my question is, how close are we to getting customers actually hooked up?
Well, that's difficult because it's a combination of us having our portion done and Aaron having his portion done. So, technically we have customers that can be hooked up, and I think he has a few customers hooked up where he's testing things. So, technically, we can hook some customers up. We just can't hook all that have asked the city, the 685 that have
Right.
asked the city to hook up.
Yeah.
There actually were a lot more than that asked originally, but some of them were in East Williston and some are out southwest of the
Right.
airport, and they're not within the city limits and the footprint of the system that we were able to install.
So from your end, how far are you from having everything that you need to have done so that our customers can be hooked up?
So the last once we get the permits, we have about a week's worth of work to complete all of that permit work, because there's only, I think, 8 locations. 2 of them are aerial. I think the rest are underground installations. So we have about a week's worth of work. So within 2 weeks of having that permit approved, we should have the system ready to go.
Okay.
Now could still have some of these 12 drops that aren't resolved, because again,
Right.
we've got to get
Yep.
property owner to
Yep.
give us authorization. And we had 2, like I say, this week or last week, where they said they wanted it installed, but then the tenant went.
Right. And last council, Hector said that the FDOT permits were not holding up anything other than the expansion, Williston Highlands. And what was the other? I asked very specifically, were the FDOT permits holding up?
Our installation team went through and looked, and there were about 20 addresses
Okay.
that those 2 locations kept from basically functioning.
Okay. So
And 4 of them are where we've got these drops that we can't finish
Right.
because of permits.
So ballpark, you have 600 and almost 800 customers who are capable of being, from your end, from the contractor's end, are capable of being hooked up at this time.
Yes, we're finishing testing, so
Mhm.
some of those have not been tested
Okay.
in 2 of the zones, and then there's about 10 that are showing issues when we did the initial testing, so we've got to go back and check
Okay.
the connections on those 10.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah, I would guess there's, you've got those 10
Yeah.
plus the 12,
Right.
so, and plus the 20 that we can't hook up until the permits are done. So
Fantastic. I understand.
Probably
So
right
a
around
ballpark,
800.
Right, ballpark number. I just wanted to understand what percentage of your portion was done. And so at this point now, we're just waiting for the Williston city crew to start actually hooking up customers.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you. Waiting on that server thing Aaron said he's got to have.
Yep.
So what's left is for Aaron to connect to the 400 that you have.
Right, and I guess we do have some information. We've given him the splice matrix, which I think was the last piece he needed, but that splice matrix, as we go through and finish the testing, could be altered in those 2 locations, or it could be altered on those 10 that we're troubleshooting, because we may have to move connections within the different strands of light. So those could alter, so we may have to get him some adjustments to that he would correct in his Fibersmith software.
So how long does testing usually take?
We should be done by the end of this week in those 2 zones. It's relatively quick. Then we'll have probably another week to getting the troubleshooting completed.
Any other questions from anybody?
Mr. Lang.
Mr. Langdon?
Rob had this hand.
Robert Langenhouse, 500 Northwest 5th Avenue. Just a quick question. Last year, I was told for this internet to come into our subdivision, CLE, we had to have 65% of the people signed up for it. Now, signs are, y'all have put signs, I got no problem with signs, but there are signs now posted in the subdivision advertising this. It's probably going to be a question come Thursday night meeting this week. Is that still a fact, or will you run 3 all the way to the end of the street and bypass everybody else? Because I was told they had that 65%.
I've never heard that.
Yeah. Those signs,
Mr. Aaron?
You mean
Go
the
ahead.
you mean the yellow signs, Mr. Lamb?
yeah, those
They're
yellow
real
signs,
yellow, yeah.
They're not
yeah,
ours.
they're not ours.
I didn't, okay. Whoever they are, they're
They're,
signs now.
they're AT&T is what it is.
Yeah, somebody needs to take them down there.
Because they're on
illegal.
poles.
They're
They're on
illegal signs.
poles
They
and
need to
stop
come down.
signs.
Okay, so they're not,
List.
No, these are little, nice little yard signs stuck in the yard.
Yep.
Are they yellow that say internet with a 200 number?
I haven't paid that much attention because I'm gonna drive over
I
it.
have 8 on my street, and they're not us.
Okay, no, but I need some clarification on that from somebody, preferably before Thursday night.
okay, thank you. Mr. Rob?
I'll get that information for you, Robert, and get back with you.
Okay, appreciate it.
Mr. Mike, I've got a couple questions for you. So I received an email from you, sir, stating that there had been some permits submitted to FDOT. Is that correct?
No, the email that I sent said that the plan was to basically get the permits done, and depending on how quickly we got the information back, we were thinking we wouldn't be able to update all the drawings with the information we had. But because it's taken a little longer than what we thought, we actually got all
So
those.
what exactly is the delay this time?
We're waiting for that utility information that where they.
So
that
once
we
you
can
submit your
send-
811 tickets, that information comes to you within 48 hours. It's been 2 weeks.
We have not gotten, you guys submitted that last week. I think it was on Thursday, and we have not gotten.
We
a
actually
response.
submitted it, we went with you 2 weeks ago tomorrow. So 2 weeks ago, Thursday, we submitted that information to 811. You should have received that information from either Aaron, myself, or the 811 tickets that you're attached to.
We have not gotten any update on.
Christie sent it today. She got it.
Okay.
She updated it today.
Sent it today. They asked if there was any utility information with it for existing utilities, and there is.
So at what point, who are you notifying? What utilities are you notifying? Because there's very few other than us in this
Essentially,
area.
in most of the areas, it will be the city of Williston. That's the only utility in the area.
So basically, here we are 2 weeks later, and we're still at square one.
Well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unacceptable, sir. Thank you.
Any other questions? Any questions from the public?
No, but I say we all feel the same way. And I know you're trying, but we got to do something.
All right.
Mr. Howard has his hand up.
If you'll come to the mic.
Is it in regard to this?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
John Howard, we own the chocolate station. Concerns about the internet is it affects my business. Aaron's been wonderful, but enough is enough with this craziness of going on. I agree, whoever just spoke. This needs to be in every contract going forward. It's just a recommendation. There's a penalty clause. She can put it in at any point. They don't live up to their duties, they don't get paid. Or there's a penalty for not completing the job at a certain time. It has to be in every contract. Every contract that this city does going forward. This, I hate to use this word, it's an abortion. It's been promised and promised and promised. There's no accountability. He could say anything.
Like whoever spoke over, who spoke?
Thank you. There's no accountability. He's going to come back 2 weeks from now. The other guy doesn't show up. Right hand doesn't talk to the left. It's ridiculous. And as a business owner in town, and being promised that we're going to get internet, and I have a direct line to Aaron because my cash register doesn't work. I can't do anything. I've called Mike 1,000 times since we've made an investment here, and there's no answers. There's none. And listening to this guy, no offense, but what's his guarantee in anything? I don't hear. If we have 800 people, why aren't we starting it up and practicing, trying it, see if it works? I know Aaron needs some stuff and he needs some stuff, but put the pedal down on him. Say something, do something. Not that it's okay that we go another 2 weeks or whatever length of time and he comes back and says, yeah, we're still waiting on this and this. They're all excuses. Stop with the excuses. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Madam President, I will just note that we have communicated with Hector that they will be paying our unrealized profits on a monthly basis, which I think is about $18,000 a month. So there are penalties that are currently in place, and they are aware that they will be responsible for those.
Thank you. Mr. Eckert.
Yes, I'm Tim Ecker, 225. I want to thank you and Mr. Hector for coming up here and taking it like a man.
He did.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, boss man, that man right there is the man who made a debacle of the parking lot.
Mr.
Has not
Eckert.
been held accountable. So if you're going to hold the feet to the
Mr.
fire,
Eckert.
hold all of his feet to the fire.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Cox.
We're getting money from performance, and then what are we doing with that money? Are we setting it in an account, or are we going to be setting it in an account that's strictly for paying internet bills?
My expectation is that we will, so it gets a little bit complicated financially, but sort of like your other funds, you have a fiber fund, right, separate from your other ones, and that will go into, it's as if we would have been paid $18,000 from our customers that we should have had hooked up at this point. We'll just receive that from Performance Services. That will be placed into that account, and it'll be used for fiber purposes.
So it's not going to just be...
It doesn't
here's
just go into the
18,000.
general fund, no.
Okay.
Can we start utilizing it to start paying on our bill? Our loan? Or is our loan?
Our loan is not yet due.
Not until, okay. Just asking.
Absolutely. Good questions. Important to keep in mind.
Good question.
Just to note, it is actually $54,000 and $18,000 a month after that, because the original $54,000 was from money that was supposed to be made during construction.
Gotcha. Thank you. Any other questions? All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, discussion with possible action. City taxes due on Old Hospital. Business owner John Howard.
Okay, John Howard. We own the chocolate station. We've made an investment into the town. Most of you don't know me, so I'm going to introduce myself and first before I even begin. Thank you. I know it's a thankless job to be in this position, so I want to thank you for your service and everything else before I begin. My background, I'm not associated with this company. See, I blocked it. And, so this is from a private entity that we will form and try to take care of this eyesore of a hospital called Regional General Hospital. I knew of the owner, this Jose Perez, and he's in federal prison, as we all know today. But I knew him in South Florida, and he was corrupt down there, and he was corrupt up here. And what's unique, he said he didn't realize who I was, but he actually interviewed me to be the CEO of that hospital, which I never would be, because when I walked into it, it was already beyond anything I've ever seen as a hospital. But going forward, I think the goal would be, what can we do with that facility? I've been in the medical field since 1978. I've owned my own business. I owned the largest clinical laboratory in South Florida and Puerto Rico for 28 years. My background, master's in hospital administration, and I'm licensed in hematology, chemistry, microbiology, all those ologies that you always hated, I'm licensed in it. I have a unique situation because I have physicians not at my beck and call, but as partners. And what we would like to propose is, and Latricia's been great. I have to say that too. She's been keeping me posted. I've been looking at this possibility for over a year since we've been out here, and Mike also. It's been great. So what we would like to propose is the hospital has to come down, and anybody that's going to bid for that hospital that thinks they're going to resurrect it, it's a major mistake. It's never going to happen. So our proposal would be to take over the property, but healthcare out here, it doesn't exist. So what we would propose is a full diagnostic imaging portion of it, a full laboratory, and then physicians managing this. Can't be a trauma center, but it'll be kind of in between an acute center, medical offices, and stuff like that. So it'll be across the board, servicing from 7 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night. That's the bulk of the emergencies we see. As I want to put on the record, I don't represent HCA, I don't represent UF Health. This is a private group of guys looking at this possibility to offer health care out here and not auction off the property to somebody that's not going to develop something healthcare out here. It's desperately needed. We know all the numbers and everything else. So as an independent group, what we're going to try to propose, we should say, is that we work out a taxation situation where we can pay off some of that tax money. The other thing, multiple hats, when I was in South Florida, I also was partnered with EX Medicare hearing officer, and we started a company, and we did overutilization cases, and we negotiated out when any physician had a problem. We went to Medicare, to the provider, and we negotiated terms. I've tried to reach out to the attorney that's, we'll say, in charge of the property right now, and he just doesn't offer a lot of information. So, but I know what I'm capable of doing. So we can negotiate whatever Medicare payments are due. I've done it for over 30 years. My last one was with United Healthcare for a group in South Florida. They owed $4.1 million as an overuse case. I flew into Minnesota, negotiated a deal. They were going to pull his license. He kept his license. I reduced it down to $1.7 million and also got a payout term, which was acceptable by both parties. I'm not saying I can do the exact same thing here because I don't have a lot of the information. There's missing pieces of what the attorney has told me. It doesn't make sense. But going forward, we would like to, if there is an auction coming up, hold that off. Let us come back with a proposal with drawings and things that we can do to offer to the community. Us personally, we've made the investment into Williston. Number two, we live in Anthony. We drive back and forth to Anthony. We've been looking at property out here. We want to come out here. We see the growth potential, and there's no health care. And we would love to be that provider, not associated with HCA or UF or anybody like that. If we did that, then we have to put their name on the building, and that's the only way they'll accept trauma patients. And so to go that route is not economical for all of us. So the idea was to form the group, come in, offer the services, and we'll deal with the back owing of money and everything else. So the goal tonight was to propose the fact that we have the expertise. I have the physicians. I have all the middle managements, the PAs, the ARMPs. Everybody's on board to come out here because we know there's a need out here. We would take those trailers, just to give you a quickie overview, move those trailers off-site, and then bulldoze everything down. And we'll pay for all of that. Basically, try to hold up this auction because, A, I don't know if anybody's going to pay the $1 million bid, offer, beginning bid. And number two, you don't have any guarantees of what they're going to put in there. I'm here to tell you that what we're going to do, or if we're given the opportunity, not pie in the sky, not something 3 years from now, we'll have something together and propose it, and it'll benefit the whole community. And we want to live here, so we're very close to healthcare, so I'd like to offer that here. So anyway, I'm open to any questions or concerns or you may have.
How long do you need to get your bids together and
Well, I think
everything?
if we can, I think the auction is scheduled for April 13th. I'm not sure about that.
Yes.
So the first step would be, it doesn't make sense for us to go through all that if you were planning to bid it out.
Number one, it's not our auction.
I know it's the county.
It's the county's,
Yes,
right.
I've called the county multiple times,
Right.
but haven't gotten through to them. Left messages, no return calls either.
I can help you with that.
Okay.
There is someone who holds 5 years of the tax certificates at the moment, and I am aware of at least 5 groups, if I count yours, who are planning to bid.
Okay.
Some of them are healthcare, some of them are not. I would much rather it be healthcare. Obviously, I don't know if you're aware, I worked there for 30 years. And I left before it got in the shape it's in, I'm happy to say, because and going in there now makes me cry.
Absolutely.
But
I work with a lot of people to this day that worked and started there.
yes, I was just going to say the Medicare payments, as long as you have a different provider number, they do not go with the property. That's a good thing. right
Yes.
there. The receiver has also agreed that he will give it up. The receiver attorney in Orlando has said that he will give it up for the price of the tax bills. He doesn't want anything extra at this point. He's ready to get rid of it
Okay.
so that he wouldn't have to pay them. That's what it amounts to, or he knows he's getting ready to lose it.
Right.
So he's willing to give it up for that. I am aware of that. Have you been in it lately?
I was in it about 2.5 years ago. I walked the whole thing and it was already not in.
You should see it now.
Yes.
I happen to be taking someone tomorrow. If you're interested, we can talk after. Could probably join us.
Okay. Do you know what time or?
2.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm still involved at the hospital, so
yeah.
I wouldn't be able to make it tomorrow. But
Right.
I don't think I need to really see it. If it's in worse condition than when I did see it,
Yes.
I truly believed it's got to be bulldozed down.
Yeah. Some of these people that I've taken through, some of them have actually been had demolition contractors. They came back the second or third time with the demolition contractor. 3 of them, so they could get bids. So they're serious too.
Sure, and we have an idea of what it's going to cost too. We just guesstimate
Right.
between $200,000 and $300,000 just to bulldoze it down and cart it away, and God knows what we'll find underneath it or whatever. So we've budgeted that amount as well. So
I know it costs $450,000 to take down the high school. Just to give you an idea. I don't know what it costs to take down the hotel. But that's 26,000 square feet of building.
Mr. Cox? Did you have something? No. This is back. Okay, anyone else?
The
Ms.
helicopter
Meredith?
landing,
the helipath, yes.
would y'all plan to keep that?
Yes, so here, the concern is that there's no trauma out here whatsoever. So one of the things that we've all talked about is that I'm talking to all ER physicians. These are all board certified, they can handle anything. And one of the things is we need to be able to airlift somebody out of here. So the helipath would definitely stay, no doubt. Because if we get a trauma patient in, we can stabilize that patient, fly them out, and make an arrangement for them to accept that patient. It may not go to Gainesville, it may go to Ocala, but that's okay too. It just, we definitely is in the plans to keep the helipath because it's needed out here.
I'll also say
Ms.
those two modular buildings.
Ms. Meredith was
Sorry.
next.
I just want to say, I think everybody would love to see healthcare facility here. However, given the time, is there anything that we can do at this point for Mr.
Absolutely
Howard?
not.
If not, should this conversation continue after you have managed to sort out
Bring
the
us-
tax situation? Because, I mean, we can brainstorm and it's wonderful and I love your vision, but if there's nothing we can do tonight to help you, I think my personal feeling is we'd be best to circle back to this after you've worked with the county to see what we can do to help you.
Yeah, I don't think there's any staying at all. I think it's too late.
We do not have the jurisdiction to do that.
Madam
Okay.
President, can I just say something?
Quickly.
Mayor Goodman asked me to follow up with the Levy County Tax Collector today, knowing that you were on the agenda.
Right.
And as everybody has said, we do not have the ability as the city to waive the city taxes, which are $17,771.74. However, she did want you to know, in the event that anybody who's curious about this, that Jason Lissler, our property appraiser, actually reduced the value of the property by quite a bit.
Yeah.
So the taxes that the council has in front of them right now are substantially less than they were a few months ago.
Right.
But again, we do not have the ability to do anything with this. She also wanted to make sure you understood that the opening bid of the $1,041,000, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, that has to be paid in addition to all of these taxes. This is not inclusive of that $1,041,000. So you're actually looking at 1.2 million or so.
We had budgeted 1.5 million.
Okay.
So we kind of knew the numbers from all of us trying to get information. The county has not been forthright with us, unfortunately. But we're willing to take on that responsibility. I mean, we're making a huge commitment. I'm talking about the physicians and the nurses and the lab staff and, radiology. I mean, this is a huge commitment to make. And I hate to just, and I know you don't have anything, but you may have a little bit of say that go to the county and say, listen, I know you want to develop Williston. We get that. That's why we came here, because we're seeing the development. But the bottom line is we need something medical. To have that property at 7 acres just to go to be another strip mall or another package store that, we already have 2 now going on. I mean, it's not logical. I know you may not have anything to do, and I'm coming late to the table, but I only found out about the auction just a few days ago. So anyway, if there's nothing you can do, then we'll just have to wait and see, unfortunately. And I hope that they do put something medical. But
Thank you.
I appreciate your time.
Mr.
Thanks for
Jones,
coming.
any way you can help him to get in touch with somebody from the county who will call back?
I have all their cell numbers, yes. And I did take the property appraiser and the tax collector through there. It's probably been 3 or 4 months ago, and I showed them that it was blighted. And we did write a letter to the Department of Revenue, the Florida Department of Revenue, and that's how we got the taxes reduced. Because as a blighted property, they did forgive part of them. And that helped to whoever might want it. And that's why the number is different than what this will show.
Can he follow up with you after the meeting?
You can follow up with me afterwards. I can give you
Okay,
phone
sure, I
numbers.
appreciate it.
And you can use my name when you call them. So.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you. All right, Resolution 2026-15, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Williston, Florida, approving the directive, confirmation, and addendum between Florida Gas Utility and the City of Williston, authorizing appropriate parties to execute such directive, confirmation, and addendum on behalf of the City of Williston and providing an effective date. Kate Hall, FGU City Attorney, Kiersten, Ballou.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello. Katie's not able to make it tonight, so I'm here tonight. My name is Steve Prado. I am the finance manager at Florida Gas Utility. I'm here this evening with Robert Graves. He is the member service manager at Florida Gas Utility. And I'd like to thank all of you very much for allowing us to come here and speak with you tonight about this new discounted natural gas supply deal that we have here. During this presentation, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to stop me at any time. I have no problem answering any questions that you may have. And I'll make this nice and quick for you. I'm going to begin this presentation. I'm going to talk a little bit about who Florida Gas Utility is. I will then talk about discounted gas supply transactions and the discounted supply transactions that the city of Williston is currently involved in. And then I'm going to finish up by talking about the new discounted gas transaction that we're offering and give our recommendation for the city of Williston.
Excuse me, Steve.
Yes.
Whenever you want me to go to the next slide, just tell me next, please, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even notice I was up there. Thank you very much. So, again, we are Florida Gas Utility. We were formed in 1989 as a not-for-profit municipal joint action agency. We're kind of like a co-op in that our members govern us. We currently have 27 members across the state of Florida, and Williston has been a member since 1993. We specialize in gas supply and capacity management for our members. We are one of the largest shippers on Florida Gas Transmission Pipeline System. It's referred to as FGT, and they are the pipeline that supplies most of the natural gas for the state of Florida. Okay, yes, I'm sorry, the next slide. Thank you very much. So discounted natural gas supply is achieved through a prepaid transaction. This is achieved by an issuance of bonds that creates a discount that we're able to pass on to our members. This does not require a prepayment by the city of Williston or by Florida Gas Utility. Then these deals, they require about a 30-year commitment, but I'll talk a little bit later about an exit clause that you have in this deal, so you don't have to be in it for 30 years if you do not need the gas. Williston is currently in 5 of these transactions, and this is an opportunity for the city to get into a 6th transaction. Can you please go to the next slide? Thank you. So this slide right here, this shows the discounted savings in the 5 deals that you're currently in. If you look over on the far left side, these are the 5 deals that you're in. The next column shows you the discounts that you achieved through these deals. So you have between 29 and 50 cents for each of these deals. And then if you go over to the far right column, this shows the discounts that you've achieved since the inception of these deals, which is about a little over $65,000. And this slide right here represents 1 fiscal year. So this is from this is fiscal year 2025. So it's from October 1st, 2024 through 9/30/2025. If you see on the second to last column there, during this fiscal year you saved $21,508 just on being in these 5 deals right here. This additional deal will save you an additional approximately $5,400 for any given fiscal year. Thank you very much. For this new deal, we recommend that you have you do 34 decatherms through the winter months and 27 through the summer months. This is recommended. This is because currently, based on the amount of gas that you currently used and then the amount of gas that you have already in the existing deals, this is what you have available left to use. So this is what we recommend that you have for this deal. Right here, it says that you have a 50-cent discount, but we actually closed on this deal the other day, and it's actually a 56-cent discount. So you're actually going to save more money than you had than we had anticipated here. Periodically, this deal will reprice. You'll be locked in at the 56 cents for a minimum of 5 years or up to 7 years, and at which point this deal will reprice. And if the reprice is less than 56 cents and it's lower than a price that you are not comfortable with, you can actually get out the deal at this time. Also, there are other ways you can get out of this deal. If you have a permanent cessation of use of natural gas, let's say you want to go to another energy source and you don't want to use natural gas, you can get out of this deal and you are not penalized and you do not have to pay anything else going forward. Also, let's say if you have a permanent reduction in the use of natural gas, if you have like a large utility, like a large industrial, let's say, and they use a certain amount of natural gas and they decide that they're going to switch to another form of energy, or if they just go out of business and you don't need this natural gas any further, you can actually get out of the deal. You can get out of the part of the deal that goes to them, so you will get out scot-free. You don't have to pay any more money going forward. So those are ways that you can get out of the deal, so you're not actually bound all 30 years. So what we recommend is that you guys sign the authorized execution of the directive that we have offered you, I guess. And if you have any questions at this time, please let me know, and I'd be more than happy to answer anything. No?
Any questions?
It's a win-win deal.
Okay, great. Well, that sounds great. So thank you very much again. Talk to you guys later. Thank you. Bye.
Need a motion?
Sure.
I make a motion that we approve, I forgot my glasses, resolution 2026-15.
Right.
Have a motion? Did I get a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion from the public? Any from the council? Seeing none, move vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 5-0. Resolution 2026-17.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Williston, Florida, approving the interlocal agreement for maintenance responsibilities between the City of Williston and Levy County, authorizing appropriate parties to sign any documents required to execute such agreement on behalf of the City of Williston, and providing an effective date. Attorney Kiersten Ballou.
So I will allow your staff to present a little bit more on this, but this is the interlocal agreement. I know that we've discussed this project a little bit in the past, but I'm happy to answer any questions regarding what our responsibilities are under the maintenance agreement, what the county's responsibilities are, but I'll sort of leave it to staff to give you a more full rundown.
Madam President?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, just wanted to let you know that this morning, Walt and I attended the Levy County Board of County Commissioners meeting, and the County Commission did approve this interlocal agreement. So assuming that you guys approve it tonight, then we would be able to submit the application for this. But again, this is for the resurfacing of Airport Road. And just for some context here, it's resurfacing 2,600 linear feet that is currently maintained by the county and 2,300 linear feet that's currently maintained by the city. But again, they did approve it, so if it's approved by you as well, then we're good to submit the application by next week.
Any discussion by the council? No questions?
And how is this gonna be paid for to do the paving?
This is the FDOT SCOP grant, Small County Outreach Program, 100% paid if we get the grant.
Okay.
Move approval of resolution 2026-17.
A second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion from the public? Seeing none, move to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 5-0. We're going to, at this time at 8:29, take a 15-minute break.
Oh, thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Tonight.
I'm feeling that point of a stale peanut someplace too. You're welcome. Help yourself.
Yeah, I'm actually. No, one of them's about to have a baby.
She removed 65
We have two.
in the city today. Now, where? I don't know. I just heard
One
about
is.
May. I don't know. I just heard her say on the radio.
She's like dripping milk, so
65 something.
I'm going to.
Back on Monday, but so she said she removed 65, but I just sent an email to her supervisor advising that there were signs in CLE. Sent email to her supervisor.
Like I said, on Northwest 2nd Avenue, I counted 8 between here and my house.
Well, she removed 65 today. Now, where? I don't know where she removed them from, but I heard the number on the radio.
Well, there's 19 telephone poles, which is illegal.
Yep.
Everywhere.
I'll call it.
All right, we're going to reconvene with the city council meeting at 8:45 p.m. We're going to go to the next resolution, Resolution 2026-18, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Williston, Florida, amending the building department fee schedule attached as Exhibit A, providing for conflict and providing an effective date. City Manager Beaudet.
Thank you, Madam President.
Beaudet.
This is the resolution, we talked at the last council meeting about the fact that Safe Build was taking the 3% CPI, and this is the resolution basically adopting that and passing that 3% on to, on the fee schedule to the residents.
Do I have a motion?
2026-18.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the public? Any discussion from the council? Seeing none, I move to vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those that oppose say nay. Motion passes 4-0. Resolution 2026-19, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Williston, Florida, establishing authorization for the City of Williston to move forward with the purchase of materials for gas line extensions into the Williston Airport and contract for labor and installation for the new gate station and providing an effective date. Assistant Utility Director Alex Rodriguez.
So this is $20,000 for us to bore under FGT's line in the set of the stations. We have to bore 10 feet under to cross over so we can finish our job up.
FGT, like what he was talking about earlier?
He's FGU.
Oh, okay.
That they're with. FGT is the main distribution for our pipeline system, who we receive our gas from.
Okay.
So they're high pressure and we're technically low pressure.
All right, can I get...
This is to the crematorium.
For the crematorium and for Monterey boats.
And for Monterey. Very good.
Yes, sir.
Can I get a motion?
I move resolution 2026-19.
Can I get a second?
A second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the public? Any discussion from the council? I was going to say staff. Any discussion from the council? Seeing none, I move to vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 4-0. Resolution 2026-20, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Williston, Florida, approving and entering into a maintenance agreement between the City of Williston and Enterprise Holding Incorporated regarding the Williston Airport, Regional Airport, authorizing the City Council President to execute the agreement and providing an effective date. Airport Manager Benton Stiegel.
Yes, ma'am. I know the council has seen this a few times, but we had a little bit of turnover on the enterprise side. They didn't like what the last regional manager said, and as far as language in the contract, we had to rework it a little bit. Kiersten got involved with their attorney. Everything's copacetic now, from what I understand.
Theoretically, for now.
Theoretically.
Okay.
We're good with it, and it will help bring enterprise rental cars to the airport. So
I couldn't find anything any different.
There's really
Not of any great consequence.
The substantive differences are very minor.
Okay. I know I could find it.
Yeah. Motion.
I make a motion that we approve resolution 2026
Have a motion?
Second.
Have a second. Any further discussion? Anything from the public? Anything from the council? Seeing none, I move to vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 4-0. Resolution 2026-21, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Williston, Florida, approving and entering into. Yeah, that's what I'm like. Okay, so let's try that again. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Williston, Florida, approving and entering into an agreement to piggyback contract for tree trimming and related services, making certain findings in support thereof, authorizing city council president to execute the piggyback agreement, repealing all resolutions in conflict, and providing an effective date. Utility Director Rob Gillen.
Good evening, council. So we're coming to you tonight with the entering into this agreement, asking for your request to piggyback off the city of Ocala for a tree trimming service, using Davy Tree Trimming Service to start a tree trimming program in the city of Williston to trim the entire city. It would be a 3-year trim. This is a 1-year contract with them to enter into this.
A 3-year trim?
Yes,
So we're
so
gonna
what that means is when they trim the lines, it would be equal up to 3 years. They would trim them one time, far enough away from the lines that would
That it would
last us for
last.
3 years.
Okay, gotcha. And that's only around the power lines that they're gonna be trimming the trees?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
Okay.
All of our overhead distribution lines will be trimmed out completely, which reduces the trees falling, the limbs falling onto the lines, preventing power outages.
Okay.
As we seen yesterday, every outage yesterday was tree related.
I know my outage was out for like 5 hours.
Oh.
Kidding.
Who'd you call?
Kidding.
Wrong person.
Sorry.
I'm sorry to say, not yesterday.
He's like, why didn't you go? Okay, sounds good. Can I get a motion?
Oh, yeah. I just have a question why the street repair is highlighted.
And mine says 0.
I know. Is that highlighted because there will be a number
There's no incurred cost?
put in there, or is it just highlighted because it's a 0?
It's highlighted because it would be 0. If we had to, we could shift monies around from other areas to put back, put back in there.
But currently it's 0.
Correct.
Great, thank you.
These are the places you're going to take the money from in order to do the tree trimming.
Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
And you're going to wipe out the street repair.
Correct. Temporarily.
Quick question. So are you gonna trim around yard lights as well? Do they affect any of like the
No.
power outage? Okay.
No, so the only thing that we would be trimming around is
It's
all
on
the
the
main
outside.
lines. So from the station out on 121, all the way through town, our entire distribution system would be trimmed out completely. They would haul away, they'd trim, chip, and haul away.
Nice.
And there would be 2 trucks, 2 chipper trucks, 2 chippers, and a dump truck.
Gotcha. Can I get a motion? No motion?
I have a question, but I can make the motion. I move approval of Resolution 2026-21.
I second.
I have a motion and a second. Further discussion from council?
So we have tree trimmers, right?
We do not currently have a tree trimmer.
Okay.
It has been posted.
They're vacant.
That is
We
correct.
have positions, but they're vacant.
Yes, so you'll see there, the tree trimmer.
Right.
Full year of 71,698. I can't see that far, I
Yep,
apologize.
that's one of the 2 tree trimmers.
Yes.
And so we've advertised for one, but that's the salary from the other that we will be using.
Yes, and we will not, we're keeping that position. We're just not going to post it for the rest of the year.
Right.
And possibly next year. But we want to keep that position.
I know that was one question that people had asked me, people in the public who get our agenda. That was one question they asked me, don't you have tree trimmers? And I said, yes, but I think they're vacant at the moment. I just wanted to confirm that.
Yes. I think Ms. Kim has something
Ms.
as well.
Troy?
We've also put this out for advertisement since August or September. And yes, we've had applicants, not qualified applicants.
Not people that you trust with the chainsaw.
And then the ones
won't
that
qualify.
yeah,
We do.
and then the ones that are qualified say we don't pay enough.
Let me see. The other question they asked me was where the money was coming from. I referred them to this page. Let me see what else they asked me. I think that's it. I just wanted to cover all bases because they may be online.
What's the education of someone who is a tree trimmer? What's their education level?
High school, GED. It's not the education level that we're struggling with. It is the CDL that they have to come with.
The what?
the CDL that they have to.
CDL.
CDL that, yeah, this one is, it's a requirement of their job to come with it. And then on top of that is line clearing is not the same as just trimming a tree in the park.
Right.
So that's what I'm asking. What's the education level that they have to have? Don't they have to go to school to do tree trimming?
No.
Or learn how to, really?
You have to train somebody, but we don't have the people to train people.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay.
It doesn't take a chainsaw to the electric line.
I know.
Yeah,
There's
and-
no. Wow.
Yeah, it's actually in the job description. I looked at it
Yes,
today.
it's 3+ years of line clearing because we don't have anybody to train the individuals that's qualified.
Ms. Meredith.
Keep in mind, these men and or women are getting up next to 7,200 volts, 14,400, and up to 500,000 volts.
That's why I'm surprised that there's no.
With a chainsaw.
That's
So, okay, my math skills aren't great, but if we employed a tree trimmer through 3 years, it's more than what we would pay Davy to come and do this, and we wouldn't have to own the equipment or deal with the insurance. So is there a reason we would continue to try to get a trimmer on our staff as opposed to just hiring this out to somebody else who carries the burden of responsibility of owning and maintaining the equipment?
I think that would be a great discussion in the future.
Okay.
At this time, we just need to worry about getting our trees trimmed
Absolutely.
for storm
Right.
season.
Yeah.
But there are also trees that need to be trimmed that hang over into a road that doesn't actually deal with power lines and stuff. But those trees break and cause accidents. So we probably need somebody that's going to trim trees on a regular basis
So that is not as technical.
outside of the.
Yes, and we do have those people, and I don't mean to say it that way, but we do have those individuals that can actually do that tree work.
Okay.
It's a little bit not as difficult to trim over a tree as opposed to trimming next to a power line.
Those would be like
Right,
your parks and recreation people,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I guess.
Okay. Mr. Eckert, you can come forward.
Yes, what about calling a local like Jason the tree musician? He's got a grapple saw. He's got the equipment to haul it off with. He's got the U-dump trailers. He's got the stump grinders. And that grapple saw reaches way up there, and he's got ample amounts of insurance, and he's very, very, very well qualified in this too. And plus, he's local. I don't know about the line trimming, but when it comes to the other stuff, and he's very reasonable, especially for a day rate. Just saying.
Yes, sir. Mr. Killian.
So I agree with you, Mr. Tim. It would be great to have a local tree trimming company. I, as the utility director, can't take a chance in putting somebody that's not qualified up around and or in the power lines. That's I wouldn't want to subject the city or myself to that matter.
Maybe if we get a 3-year trim, we could get him to maintain it from then on.
Agreed.
Put it out to bid for a local.
Or
to
your people, since it'll be away from the power lines.
Yes, ma'am.
They still have to be in a
To-
bucket truck. And
to
I think
maintain
Jason
it.
has one.
We don't have our bucket truck anymore? Okay, I thought we did.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
Any further discussion from the public or the council? Seeing none, I move to vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 4-0. Resolution 2026-22, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Williston, Florida, affirming the importance of public education on property taxes and their connection to local services, and providing an effective date. City Attorney Kiersten, Ballou.
So this is the resolution that we talked about at, I believe it was the last meeting, regarding obviously educating the public on property taxes, etc. The regular session of Florida legislature is out. That doesn't mean that it won't be considered in a special session, but it was not passed in the regular session. So we just want to make sure that we are, educating our public. Like we just said, people get our agendas, people look at our resolutions, making sure that we are reminding the public of the benefits of our property taxes, what they get for them, etc., and having that as a priority for the city staff to make sure that we're taking whatever opportunities we can prior to this being placed on the ballot to educate everyone regarding the potential consequences of elimination of property taxes.
Awesome.
Can I get a motion?
Move approval of resolution 2026-22.
I second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the public? Any further discussion from the council? Seeing none, I move to vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 4-0. Resolution 2026-23, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Williston, Florida, approving the mutual aid agreement for law enforcement services between the City of Williston and Levy County, authorizing appropriate parties to sign any documents required to execute such agreement on behalf of the City of Williston and providing an effective date. Chief Mike Rose, interim.
Owen Confessor.
Chief Owen, sorry, not Chief Owens.
It's a 4-year MOU
Sergeant.
between the Williston Police Department. It's a 4-year MOU between the Williston Police Department and the Levy County Sheriff's Department. It outlines what the responsibilities are between the two agencies, and it's just a working agreement between the two agencies.
It's something we pretty much already do.
This
is just on paper.
It's just renewed every 4 years.
I started to say, don't we have one already?
Yeah, it just expires and it has to be renewed every 4 years.
Got it.
All right, I make a motion, we approve resolution 2026-24. Nope, sorry.
23.
23, sorry.
Second.
I have a motion. I have a second. Any further discussion from the public? Any discussion from the council? Seeing none, I move to vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 4-0. Resolution 2026-24, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Williston, Florida, approving the retention of the police. Did I say that right?
Who knows?
Shkolnik. Okay, what Attorney Ballou said. For the can you read that one, ma'am?
For PFAS and other water contaminant claims on behalf of the city through partnership with the National Rural Water Association, authorizing appropriate parties to execute such retainer agreement on behalf of the City of Williston and providing an effective date. So, I'm sure everyone has heard of the ongoing PFAS, water contamination lawsuits, etc. We did our preliminary testing. We have identified that we are potential claimants in those actions. One of the main, the next step is to get an attorney to represent us, because you do not want to pay me the amount of money it will take for me to learn federal law regarding water contamination. So thankfully, through your inclusion as a member of Florida Rural Water, they have negotiated with Napoli Shkolnik to represent their members if you so choose to have them represent you. Their fee is nothing unless you get something, and then they take 25% of whatever it is that we receive in a settlement. So
You mean, that's actually somebody's name?
That's
Napoli Shkolnik. It's actually two people's different names. Napoli one, Shkolnik being the next.
That's the name of the law firm.
That's
Okay,
the name
gotcha.
of the law firm, exactly.
Got it.
So this is just a retainer agreement to allow them to basically do their thing. They'll ask our staff for what they need, and we just sort of set it and forget it. They'll come back to us if they get us any money.
Sounds good to me.
What do you think? What's your honest professional opinion? Should we waste time with this?
I do. My thinking is that there's no downside to the
cost us
city.
anything.
It doesn't cost us anything unless we get something, and if we get something, then we can use that money in order to better our water quality. If we don't, then we'll deal with it, but that's the situation where we are right now anyway, so it's really nothing ventured, nothing gained, but you don't really even need to venture anything.
Okay.
I make a motion, oh, are you ready? I make a motion that we approve resolution 2026-24.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Anything from the public? Anything from the council? Seeing none, I move to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 4-0. Okay, discussion with possible action, review and discussion of city clerk's 2024 to 2025 evaluation. HR Director Kim Troy. We probably should have just went ahead and did 2026, 2027.
Yeah, really.
Good evening. Through the slideshow, it's the evaluation. Miss Wright describes her achievements for this year. She continued to improve the different events that the city has scheduled and implement. I'm not sure, how do y'all want to do this? Probably should ask that.
I'd say we've read it already.
Yes, I would agree.
We don't need to read it again.
No, we just need to kind of talk about what her scores are and where we want to go from there.
If we skip to that summary score at the back and the goals, maybe. What else do we need to look at?
So Miss
I'd
Wright
say
scored an
we all love her.
average score of 4.85, which translates to exceeds job standards. And then we are asking for recommendations for increase. Her current salary is $75,000 a year.
What?
So you're gonna move into Williston then, right?
Yeah.
And then her, you said you wanted to discuss her goals, her current goals?
What's the recommended increase? What is your recommended increase? What is the recommended increase?
Miss Latricia?
No, there's nothing in HR that talks about increases.
No, it's based on what the council approves. It's not based on what the employees, it's completely separate from employees because it's part of the charter.
For reference, a 3%, which I think is what we did for all the other employees last year, would be just for baseline, $2,250 increase.
So we need to know what we budgeted for. Was it 3% or was it more? Does anybody know?
It's 3% across the board, but again, you
Okay.
guys decide. But yes, in the budget, it's 3%.
Okay. So anywhere from 1 to 3% or 0 to 3% for her increase. Ms. Cox, your recommendation?
More than $1. So there, I passed $1 to you.
I'm last. Ms. Martin?
I think we should, she's exceeded her job performance, and I think we should give her the full 3% increase.
Ms. Jones?
I think at least a 3%.
Yeah. And being in all seriousness, when just from my length of time that I've been on council, and seeing how she has gotten us in conferences, in meetings, whether we like them or not, but I would like to think, has elevated the council people.
Only if she gonna
Because
be
we
part
go
of
to
it.
meetings, they know who Williston is.
Yes, I do.
So
because of her.
we can go beyond the
Oh, yeah.
3% even though it's not budgeted?
Yes.
Oh, okay, sorry. Did not realize.
What classes? I said only if I get a part of it. Cause you have me in a whole lot of stuff that I'm not getting paid for. I want some of your money. That ain't paying a bill. It's not paying any bill. I want some of your money.
And it is interesting when we do go to meetings that we talk to other municipalities who are in the same boat we're in, if not worse.
Oh, yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's always great to be there so that you can hear that we're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
We're all kind of looking for it.
And
So we have three. Mr. Cox? 3%.
Mine was at least 3.
You said 3. If you want more than 3, say more than 3. But you said
Say
3.
more
You
than
said
3,
3.
4.
And I have to say,
and you say 4.
I didn't know that we could go beyond what was
See, I like the 4.85 myself.
budgeted. So I'm sorry, forgive my ignorance, but if we, and this is unrelated, but just to educate me, if we do more than the 3% that was budgeted, where does the additional money come from? Okay, cool.
At the end of the year.
Okay.
And yeah, our 4th of July event has grown every year. Got more and more vendors that come out. And
Free vendors. I mean, they free for the people.
right. And that's what's nice is she can pick up the phone and call. She's got her list of people who will donate money to help make 4th of July a success.
The difference between 3% increase and 5% increase is $1,500.
So we do 4.85%.
Sounds great to me.
What's 4.85%?
36, 37, 50.
I'm good with 4.5.
Okay. I'll settle with that.
Okay. Mr. Cox?
4.5?
You know what? Can we
Yes.
vote?
We're
Because it's not even.
We're negotiating here.
Where you at? Still at 3?
Nope, more than $1. So no, I'll go with what Debra and
4.5? Unanimous 4.5? All right, we got a vote? Yeah. I just make sure we're unanimous before we vote, because,
We've been there.
all right, can I get a motion?
I make a motion that we increase our city clerk's salary by 4.5% for the, what is it, the
Fiscal year 2025.
2025, 2026, thank
We
you.
pay it retroactive back to October,
Correct.
which is when we were supposed to do this.
Yeah, we have to retro.
well, some people were a little late to the table.
I was a lot of late. Not a little. And
But I wasn't
listen,
late
I own it.
Me too.
I'm not going to pay for it, but I own it.
I second the motion if nobody did.
All right, we have a first and a second. Any discussion from the public? Any discussion from the staff? Why are you saying staff? Any discussion? Yes, Ms. Troy.
I just need to clarify for the PAF when I type it up. It's 4.5, correct?
4.5.
Okay.
No further discussion from the council. Move to vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 4-0. Whew, okay. Whew. Discussion with possible action, 2026 COW compensation, HR Director Kim Troy.
How would you like to proceed with this?
Very brief. Only things that had issues from council.
Those have been corrected.
But can we just talk about it, like, at least, and talk about it so that public knows what we changed or did?
There was only one error that we corrected, and then Meredith brought another one up to me, which is corrected. And then the airport, I discussed the airport job descriptions with Benton, and he said that there is no distance requirement for where they live, because if there is a plane crash, it's not the airport employees that investigate it. Generally, if anything is an emergency, it's gonna be first responders that take it, not airport employees. And if there is something like that, then they will contact Benton himself.
That's not why I would want them to be responsive within 30 minutes. It has nothing to do with airplane crashes. Sorry.
Are you talking about people that are on call or just in general?
There's nobody on call at the airport.
The airport is the only department that has no residential requirement. I read the whole thing all over again. They're the only ones who don't say you have to live within a 30-minute response time. I wish Benton hadn't gone, but he knows that's how I feel. And it's not just that. It's pilots that are calling that need fuel. And yes, we have regular fuel that they can drive up and get themselves, the 100 low lead. But if they need jet fuel, somebody has to come give it to them. And yes, we have hours of service, but if they're in there or they're trapped or they show up or they land because of a storm or whatever, they need somebody. Now, I guess it's going to be him, but even he doesn't have a 30-minute response time.
So they're landing without anybody being there?
Oh, sure. All the time.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Isn't that dangerous? Aren't we supposed to have?
We don't have a tower.
No.
We're what's called an uncontrolled airport. We don't have a tower. They can land anytime they want to. Day and
And
night.
we're not liable. Okay. As long as we're not liable.
Well, then if we do it that way, we're gonna have to pay. We're gonna have to start paying airport on call.
They have
they don't have on call right now.
They have, because my husband worked there for over like almost 20 years, and if he got called out, he did get paid a certain amount of money. And that was a 2-hour minimum.
Yes, but we don't have an on-call pay set for them. It's not budgeted or anything for the airport.
So they're not on call.
That's what.
But if they
that's what
need
I'm saying.
somebody, they call them and they come.
But if we put that requirement in, it's in our handbook and the CBA.
Not saying put it in there. I'm saying put a residential, a response time. If you want to call it a response time instead of a resident time. And I said that last time when Benton was here. So again, I'm not saying anything that I didn't say in front of him.
So basically what she's saying, somebody needs to respond in a reasonable time frame. It can't always be Benton because he's off living life too when he's off. So.
And all of them live within 30 minutes,
her.
so it's not a big deal. I don't know why he's.
I just went off what the airport manager wanted.
Should we table this one more fun time?
No, the only thing we should table is the one related to the airport.
So we discussed
not
it then.
everything. Yeah.
Then so the whole thing is going to be put on hold.
We
Why
can
is
just
the
put
whole
those
thing
on
put on
hold.
hold?
And
But you could adopt, what I think Kim is trying to say is that you are either going to adopt your compensation plan or not adopt your compensation plan. You can't really adopt parts of it. If we adopt and exclude some job descriptions, we're not going to have job descriptions for people that work here, which we need. So right now we haven't adopted one. So if you want, we can adopt this one and then come back at the next meeting and make an amendment, or you can not adopt it at all. And those are sort of the choices.
Also, this has to be renewed in October. Whether we pass a COLA or not, it has to come back every year per the HR manual. Plus, it has to get adjusted for the minimum wage increase.
And let me say on page 313, it says that this maintenance worker, crew worker, is responsible for the main police building, 2 district offices, and 1 mall office. That's not us.
I don't have that page.
Ew, I
It's
don't
page 213 of our packet.
I've got 156, the max.
What?
But I had her email me.
Let me see what number. It's page 96. It has 2 numbers on it. That's the other one. And it's under the essential job functions. It said responsible overall maintenance of the main police building, 2 district offices, and a mall office. That would not be Williston.
You said 96?
Mm-hmm.
96 I've got as maintenance worker crew.
Yes, and it's under the essential job functions.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know why it says police either. So
Because he does maintain things at the police department. This is Tom.
So he's paying the police department too?
Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes he does. He's not supposed to be, is he? Thought he was only doing it because somebody was sick.
And
Okay.
it's
But we don't
maintaining-
have 2 district offices and we don't have a mall.
Okay, I can remember.
That's why I'm saying it's not right. I'm not arguing over the police part so much as we don't have a mall and we don't have 2 district offices. So that part needs to be changed somehow. I mean, just because we don't have them. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Miss
So
Latricia.
can we get a,
Let's see, what else?
Sorry,
did
go
I-
ahead.
a motion?
There was something on
With the-
337 too. for me.
Amendment or then amendment? Ms. Kim, you notating the,
Miss Latricia.
Yes, sir.
It's getting late.
he can't remember.
You handle all of our insurance claims? Yes? Okay. I think on the thing where it says chain of command, I think the city clerk should also be listed on several of them because, for instance, I'll use utilities. You know, if one of them guys get hurt or there's an accident or whatever, it's Latricia who's responsible for handling that. So I just looking this over, I mean, they really don't have anything for her. I think I saw city clerk like twice. But, you know, dealing, since she does our insurance, she's a charter officer and all that, she should be in here more for that reason. Just putting it.
And I won't even mention the educational minimum requirements. Some of them are crazy. So, like what? Like the Parks and Recreation guys, a 4-year degree in recreation, parks and natural resources, horticulture, forestry, or criminal justice, parks administration, or related field. And it goes on to say, or 5 years, but we would, 5 years experience. I would never expect a 4-year degree in those things. Not in Williston. It'd be nice, but I don't think we'll ever.
Some of those are from other municipalities as well. I went and I
sure they
compared a
are.
lot of things.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. Even the utility director, that one is crazy too.
Well, you guys want to pay like other municipalities, but
I know.
you don't want the description like other municipalities?
I don't want to pay like the other ones.
Oh, yeah, we do.
If we have that in there, we will have to, that's for sure.
Well, we're always we're always going by what another municipality is paying when we talk about pay rates and increasing pay. So if we're gonna do that, we need to, I mean, it has to be the same across the board. We want to pay the money, but we don't want the qualifications. That makes no sense.
I mean, I would love the qualification, but we're never going to find anybody with those qualifications, is all I'm saying. I don't think there's any way we will. And I'm not saying take it out, but I think it's unrealistic.
It's not unrealistic because you found me. I have a master's in HR and I accepted the position. It's not unrealistic. I'm a prime example.
Just take the time and find the right one, huh?
Yes, sir.
My thing too is for the executive assistant with that. think her job needs to be spelled out a little bit better, because I've got employees asking me, what's her job title? Because she goes around and telling us what to do and things like that. I don't even think Miss Wright tells employees what to do. If she says, hey, why don't you do something? They say, yes, ma'am. And they go and do that. But I think it just needs to be spelled out. She's, you know.
Are you saying that the administrative assistant is acting as a supervisor?
Well, like I said,
I'm asking.
Employees are just
Want clarification.
wondering what her job title is. But didn't think, I mean, in the ones we've had previously, Stacy and the one before her, you know, they weren't telling employees what to do, or no, do this, don't do that.
That's not in her job description here, that she would be a supervisor, so that is a management issue, not an issue with the compensation
That's what I'm
plan.
just saying, is employees are trying to figure out what is her job. If she's an executive assistant, that's one thing. But to go in and be telling employees what to do, if you read this, there's not really a clear.
Right, but that's not an issue with this compensation plan. That is.
You're saying it's not specific.
You're saying it's not.
Yeah.
So if there's an issue of what is, for instance, I'm looking through here and I don't see anything that looks supervisory to me. I mean, I'm glancing through.
Right, it's not listed, but.
So then that's all that we need to decide up here. Sue, under the charter, is responsible for ensuring that nobody is overstepping and everyone is performing their job functions. So that's not something, that is definitely something that needs to, you know, to the extent that it is occurring, will be addressed by your city manager. But if there's something in here that you have concerns with, then that would be of the purview of the council. Does that make sense? Like, the job description itself, purview of the council, execution of everyone's job descriptions and oversight, that's Sue.
We'll relieve this one. Let me look one more time. Nope, that's this public works. That's what I'm talking. Yeah. I think the concern I have is in here. Okay. The executive administrative assistant, while we're on that subject, it has Sue as the only person that is over her. And she, even in the job description, says that she also does things for Kim and for Latricia. So I think both of them need to be in.
The last time we tried to put somebody on there, it was a no.
What was a no?
When I was
me, by the
taking
way.
over planning and zoning and permitting, y'all told me I couldn't do it.
Huh? I didn't tell you any such thing.
Yes, it happened on the org chart.
Let's take a quick 5-minute break at 9:28.
I'm saying
Miss Debra, we will be back at 9:35. Let's just take a quick Okay, we're going to resume now at 9:36 p.m.
I would, if I may, take a second. I apologize if I think I misunderstood what we wanted to do here. Because I thought we were going to take the job description and go through it and see what changes needed to be made.
So
because we didn't have.
So the discussion last time was that when she sent us out the new revised one, that we would go through it, take a look at it. Any issues, we would let her know. Once we got here, we would only discuss the things that were seen as things that need to be changed. But she didn't get the things that we're talking about now. She didn't get any of that information from anybody.
Well, it's 200 pages. You have to read it. For one.
Okay.
And I didn't realize we were supposed to get a tour before we got here. If that was in the conversation, I missed that altogether. Sorry.
Did he do that? Yeah.
Did everybody else understand it that way?
I believe that
did
was the conversation. So.
Well, still, if you see typos, you've got to tell her that you see them.
Okay, typos are different. All right, so let's figure out what it is that we want to change. Ms. Sue is going to write it down. Those changes will be made. We can go ahead and vote with the changes that need to be made if we agree to pass this. So let's discuss the changes that we have, that we need or want to change. Sue will document, and then she will make those changes.
In this particular one for the executive administrative assistant, I certainly didn't mean to upset her.
It's okay.
In the very first paragraph, it says job functions and purpose, that the administrative assistant supports the city manager, the city clerk, and the HR director. I just think in the end, when she's reporting to someone, that in that chain of command, it should include the city manager, the city clerk, and the HR director. If she's responsible for assisting them, she has to be responsible to all of them. And you can put the other two and the city manager last, obviously, because they're the most over everybody. But in that very first sentence, because she does assist all three of them. Latricia, if you'll go back to that job function for that, at the very top. Yeah. Right there it says that she assists and supports the city manager, the city clerk, and the HR director. All I'm saying is all three of them need to be in her chain of command.
Okay. Which way would you like them to be in chain of command? Does it matter? Of course, the city manager will be the highest.
Be the highest. The others are equal.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. And right now, all it says is the city manager.
My recommendation would be HR, city clerk.
And then city manager.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter to me. I just think they all three need to be there. If she's going to work with all three of them.
Okay. What other changes do you guys see that we need?
Just that other one about the mall and the.
To have
those are the only ones.
I think she
Those are the only two pages I wrote down.
Okay. Mr. Cox, do you have anything?
Maintains privacy of confidential records, correspondent and/or files. To me, that if it's confidential files, shouldn't that be in their folders?
The city clerk.
And Ms. Kim, I want to apologize if I upset you. Okay. I had no intentions.
And I certainly didn't mean to either. So I apologize as well if that's what it was. I'm trying to get you in the loop.
All right, let's keep moving forward. What do you have, Mr. Cox? What are you wanting?
Well, no, I was just asking
Did
if
you
that
have a
one.
question?
Well, it was just maintain privacy and confidential records, correspondence, and/or files.
Which one are you looking at?
Page 11. It is essential job functions, about 3/4 of the way down.
Which one's page 11?
If I can, it says maintains privacy of confidential records, correspondence, and or files. So it's not that she's maintaining the records, that she would maintain the privacy of the records should she come into contact with them. Through her job functions, I imagine it's possible that she would come into contact with confidential records, especially working with HR, city clerk, and city manager. So the way that it's written is that she maintains the privacy of confidential records, correspondence, and or files, i.e. she doesn't tell everybody about them. The maintenance of your records, of course, rests with your city clerk.
Okay.
And then the chain of command would be adding the city clerk.
And the
And
HR
HRs, I think is what we talked about.
Because she works with both of them.
Yes.
Yeah. That's absolutely all I wrote down in the whole thing.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Cox?
Nope.
Miss Meredith, you have anything?
No, Kim and I spoke, and I think we spoke about the airport, and I had a couple of typos which are irrelevant. And then the only question I had for tonight, which I didn't get a chance, Kim, to ask you about earlier today, but on the pay grade scale, which is, I think, literally page 2, just wanting to make sure, and I think if I remember correctly, that you told me that the last time that, so the difference between pay grade 11 and 12, like 12 is lower than 11, but that's just because we have an employee currently that's inside that bracket. I just want to make sure that's not a typo, that's intentional.
No, it was the same thing in the last one because of a job description that does fall. It doesn't meet, the maximum doesn't meet 1.
Okay, perfect.
So either way, I have to adjust either the one on top or the one on the bottom.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Yep, thank you. That's it.
Any other changes? Can I get a motion that includes the changes?
I make a motion that we approve the City of Williston, 2026 City of Williston compensation plan with the amended notations and a couple of typos.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any other discussion from the council?
Are we going to revisit the airport or not?
Revisit what report?
The residency requirement.
The airport, yes.
Yeah, the airport. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was still on the table.
Any further discussion from you?
No, I just thought that Benton had said they like 45 minutes or something when he spoke
Response
last.
time.
Yeah.
I remember him responding before that if he was in Gainesville or Ocala, that it would take him 45 minutes
Right.
to come from there. But this is a residency requirement.
Right. Okay.
Not a response time as such. It's written as a residency, like where you live.
And that's what you wanted, was a resident requirement?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll revisit that later. All right, so I have anything from the public? All right, seeing none, I move to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 4-0. All right, number 6, public participation. This is the second time for you to speak on anything that was not, or speak on anything that you would like. You have 5 minutes.
Robert Langen, 500 Northwest Fifth Avenue. I'm gonna make mine short and sweet. I signed a contract with All Season Electric that Sue and Rob gave me to get the underground conduit they missed. The original developer didn't put it in. They'll be here at the end of the week and or first part of next week. I've sent them the drawings. We're putting it in exactly per the drawings and the project specifications, so we don't need any permits or anything. I will need the lights. You'll need them from them, and also I need a quote because we're talking about putting another light down to mailboxes. And then also and I'm looking at you because you're the one. We have gone around at night, Rob has, and spray painted on in front of each light pole where the sensor needs to be located properly. And he's going to be marking up, I've given him drawings too, so he's going to be marking them up so I can give it to you all so you can put in the truck and carry with you. So, mine short and sweet.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else from the public?
Yeah, I'm Tim Maker. Hey, somebody the other day at Hardee's is asking when is it gonna, take down the old, utility that had the meter? Right, was across from the high school, you know what I'm talking about? It's right from the Hardee's. You can see where it had a meter can. It hasn't been there in a long time. They just want to know when it was gonna be taken out, because it's not being used anymore.
Is there anything in it?
No, ma'am.
I think it's the
It's on
one that
poles.
DOT used, that DOT had.
Okay.
Jonathan, you might.
Jonathan, Mr. Bishop?
Is that the one that it used to have the DOT light in it?
So there's one right there, and there's one down at the the laundromat. They both belong to DOT, and they're on DOT right of ways. So if you want it removed, I can see what I can do, but it's their property on their right of way. But if you choose as a council to have me see if I can get them removed, I will.
All as well if they remove what's in them.
They're empty at this time.
Yeah. I know they quit paying us.
Yes, ma'am.
They took it off that list.
This year they did. Yes, ma'am.
That's fine. We'd appreciate that.
So is the will of the council to have me see to get them removed?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Bishop. Anyone else? Anything further from the council? Nothing.
It's cold in here again.
Any announcement from staff?
It's okay. It's going to be a short announcement. I just want to announce on Friday, March the 27th, the city of Williston, along with the fire department and the police department, will be having pictures with the Easter Bunny.
Oh.
And we'll also be doing painting with the Easter Bunny. It starts at 5 o'clock. It's from 5 to 7. So if anyone has any little kids or big kids that would like to come out and take a picture with the Easter Bunny or paint, please come out and visit with us at Heritage Park.
Can we do it a couple of days earlier?
No, unfortunately, I've already advertised it.
Oh, okay.
So just spread the word, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wright, Mr. Killian, Ms. Troy, Mr.
I'm sorry, let me add one more. Also, Saturday, March the 21st, at Williston Elementary, the Rotary Club will be having an Easter egg hunt for the kids. And also, BJ is having her event. She said, don't forget her at the animal shelter.
And do we have a date? Do we have a date for the Quinyon Mitchell?
Quinyon Mitchell is going to be May the 1st.
May 1st. I knew it was coming up quick.
I don't have a time yet. I'm still collaborating with the principal at the high school. But the function's going to start recognizing the young ladies basketball team. It's going to be that afternoon. It's going to start at the high school, the middle high school, and it will end up here at Heritage Park.
Nice.
But I will keep everybody abreast of what's going on.
This to be a parade, so put that on your calendar.
Okay.
Awesome.
May 1st.
May 1st. Okay. You said you had nothing.
I was just reminded of something. I apologize. Real quick, the fence over at the tennis court that's been long time troubled has been started by Mr. Bishop and his crew. They are working on that. It should be completed by the middle of next week.
Thank you so much for that update.
Yes, sir, ma'am.
Anything from the council?
That's where Meredith.
What is it?
Are you a sergeant? She's
No.
saying. He's a detective.
Sergeant, detective, I'm both.
Sergeant Detective Compulsory, do you have anything, sir? Okay. All right. We're at adjournment.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 4-0.